Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Season 0 of the Nebula series. We're in the 6th week of the season. We've got an action-planned weekend for y'all. I'm your host, producer, and part-time caster Caustic, kicking things off for our first matchup tonight. We have the current Div 4 leaders, the undefeated Blackout Eclipse, facing off against the powerhouse that is FIWB. And after that, the Nova will be looking to break the tie for the 3rd seed in the Div 5 standings as they face the 2nd seed White Nova. But the fun doesn't stop there, as on Saturday, these two teams will battle to solidify their spot as the 3rd seed in Div 3 as the Boostios take on the Tequila Mockingbirds. And in Div 2, the Comeback Kids have a chance to rewrite history as they battle Div 2's undefeated team, the Normal. And without further ado, it's my pleasure to introduce you all to tonight's Match 1 casters. So please give a warm welcome to our amazing shoutcaster, Dusty.
I'm back.
Back, you're basically a staple here at this point.
I was gone for like one Saturday. That was too many.
One Saturday was one Saturday too many. And joining Dusty tonight for Match 1 is our analyst and the owner of MSU Esports. We have Sign.
Yay, I'm back. I got in a minute, but excited to be here. Really like casting, really fun thing to do. Hopefully some good watch tonight. Something close
You
to
have
a
me
lot of
here.
Theos. Oh yeah, we got Dusty here,
You have me here, so it's gonna be 3 Overwatch.
Okay.
The caster curse is
let's
real.
see, let's
I've
see,
confirmed
let's
it at
see.
this point. I did a science study. It's too late. With out of the way, Sign, should we get to the teams?
Oh yeah, of course. Definitely see what you got here. And we have for Blackout Eclipse, we have Shoreline on tank, Dino Dan and Mignana on DPS, and Race and Theory on support. And these viewer picks are interesting.
They like
Maybe
poke.
it's just yeah. Yeah, these definitely poke heroes. Maybe it's just like the main heroes like to play or something, maybe it's not trying to
Yeah, I
run,
think it's
but
just their favorites and or troll picks.
yeah. I mean, I don't think control is mixed. But next up, we have from FIWB, we have Jess on tank, Honeydew and Goopy on DPS, and Eggy and Nax on supports.
That one support in the bottom right is definitely a troll pick. I don't even say his name. I can't even say his name. Mercy, and what is that? Petal man? I can't tell.
Yeah, I
That
don't
on the
see much Pedal Man. We'll see one comment here, but might see something. And now we're gonna begin with Legion Tower. We see this one every time
every week.
game. It's a classic.
Every week.
Yeah.
Do we have if we looked at the map pool, we should just make it Lijiang only.
Yeah, it's just such a flexible map. You can do so much with it. You play a lot of different compositions. It doesn't really pigeonhole you in one composition, and it's just a comfort pick, So
Yeah. With that out of the way, we should be starting momentarily, and I mean, it's no matter which point we go to here on Control Center. Well, not Control. Oh God, well, I was expecting that one. But no matter where we go on Lijiang, it's gonna be Gardens. Either way, we're probably gonna have to see some form of a brawl, right?
yeah, for sure. Just could play in that kind of like side corridor room the Mega is, and I'll have a lot of cover to play with. Then go in the point. Also, I know some teams like to kind of run a little bit of a ball if they are a ball team, go for around there. But we are seeing kind of like this mini rush.
Right, and
But
the Reinhardt.
Queen on this map is interesting. I don't think Queen is the best control hero, but let's see maybe how Blackout go about doing this here. But I do see you have the Symmetra coming out on the side of Miana.
Yeah,
And
that's
let's see.
most likely for the TP. I'm expecting like a Genji swap from Mignana of all things. Mignana, I've seen a lot of Genji, but
Just take the Smash pick. They're not gonna just US one. Okay, nice to meet you.
Both teams are just gonna reach point. It's gonna be chaotic.
And we got Cindy Sim. Oh, Goopy just dies early there.
Yep. A little quick railgun from the Sojourn is just gonna be swinging, already lamp force out by Nax. And FIWB is already losing resources here, Sign, as they're getting walked down, as Mignana's just beaming them down. Shoreline takes the pin, gonna block for the Symmetra with just the raw health bar of the Junker Queen. And I think you're just able to get the TP first if you were Blackout Eclipse play like a second earlier, and that's gonna be enough to get the quick cleanup. And a first fight win, and your ult econ's already looking good for both teams here, actually. Wow, look at that shatter charge.
Yeah, Jess almost have Shatter there. And the fight does look like really well for FIWB there. But the biggest problem was that Symmetra just died before she got a chance to even get any charge beam, any damage. And so he just played 5 before that entire fight. But it looked pretty good. But Ryan gets a Shatter here, which I do not think Blackout expects Ryan to have the Shatter yet. Might catch my surprise.
Oh, almost a ball
nice.
the DQ.
The next got close.
We have to see at least one. As it's probably going to be a quick fight here with Nax coming up to the window as well. We have 30% already for Blackout Eclipse on the point. Jess is just going to send it. Getting the shatter. Here we go. You're going to get burned down. You hit just Shoreline. He gets shut down. Nax pops the window to keep him alive. Not going to be enough as Jess will fall. As it's going to be trades, but Shoreline and Dino Dan are going to be able to clean up with a nice off angle from the Sojourn in the backline of FIWB. And now it's going to be another cleanup. And yeah, you forced out the shatter and window. You didn't have to use an ult. You're looking good if you're Blackout Eclipse right now. And you could just take all the off angles you need.
Yes, that was a really nice play to coming up for the tank. Just kind of just baiting the Reinhardt in to really just go in and try to get some shatter value. But Ryan was not able to get shatter there. He pushed a little too deep, only got Queen with it, but Sports able to keep him alive. And he used 2 ultimates without any value. And Blackout Eclipse has their entire ult coming in this fight. But they're going to keep in.
It's an early lamp. There's a 5-man ramp! Sign!
Oh, yeah, there it is. Wow, 5 heroes from that Rampage. Huge. Like, again, the guys all got grouped up, and I think Shoreline was like, oh, I'll group up, press Q, and just gets all the heroes, and fight's over. And again, they have 85% on point with 4 ultimates. This is not looking good for the side of FIWB at all.
And now, you just gotta try to shut down this Juno, right? Like Scrambled Egg, if you don't get that orbit, that's basically a fight loss unless Honeydew hits the biggest blizzard of their life. As you have 5%, you have to TP on the point, you're walking it into ult. It's gonna be a Russian race starting off Dino Dan popping the clock. And it's gonna be the first pick found already, as the orbit might be a little late here.
Oh, but Mian did not get straight off though, and Jess is just kind of looking sweet. And Queen gets low, but great peel from the side of Fury, just able to just getting, well, it gets pinned, but it does not matter, and they just use that huge ult advantage to just win the point. And they seem a bit kind of not together in that TP there. It seemed like Honeydew didn't get a TP with their team, and wasn't able to really get the Blizzard where they wanted it to be. And with that, the game's over, the fight's over, and they get that point pretty handily. I don't even think did even 3 heroes die on the side of Eclipse?
Honestly?
I don't even think so. Like,
maybe
that was just kind of like, maybe 3 heroes, but it seemed like Eclipse just kind of have a great just kind of hold in this game. And just kind of just playing their comp well, playing with their strengths, and just keeping that space, and, you know, making Overwatch easy when you have all those ultimates.
Yeah. And now you're going over to the Ram Genji for the side of Blackout Eclipse, trying to put a little more speed onto this comp as you're going to Control Center where it's more tightly contested. So you gotta just be able to run away from these walls from Honeydew. Because if you go up to server room and just get walled, it might just be game over for whoever gets hit by one of those. As it's going to be Blackout Eclipse getting to the point here first, getting early poke damage. Make sure Jess cannot run in the shield easily as the Reinhardt's already falling low here. Might force out an early lamp, walls out too, and oh, there's a sim in the back line.
And this fight seems a lot better on the side of FIWB, where now they're able just to brawl on the point, and Ryan just wins that brawl match against Ram any day of the week, and this only end game these heroes. But somebody gets 2 here, somebody gets 3.
I know, Dan. I think that was 5.
5 heroes? I was
getting joking.
Yeah, it looks so good to start for FIWB. Like, they got good picks in the start, but then now they just have that off angle and just getting kills, and that just stifled their momentum completely.
Yeah, now you're going to force Nax over to the Kiriko. No more Immortality Field, but you do trade out for the Suzu. Not awful, per se, but Dino Dan's almost getting early picks here.
Yeah, the Surgeon is, you know, just so dangerous when she gets his offense with those rails, especially when she can land those headshots. Look like just, again, Jess is going in, pinning in through here, just playing really aggressively, but it looks like Eclipse are just kind of hiding back here a bit, waiting and chilling. It's like, okay, we can still fight this. Theory's close to beat here. They're playing this slowly. Ryan Slowly is going to pin in. And
right, a little too far.
But again, like, no one's dying in Eclipse right now. They're getting ultimates. And looks like they might beat this, but nah, he seems like he doesn't need to do it right now. And but Goopy does get a Sojourn. The supports are kind of split here.
First pick of the fight. Ray CP's away. There's still all the ults on board. Jess hits both members of the back line. No support ults to save you now. And that's gonna be the first point percentage for FIWB this map after, honestly, not too costly.
Yeah, the fight was going pretty well for Eclipse. I would definitely like to see Fury use that beat, maybe a bit aggressive to take that space, but it seemed like he kind of hesitated a bit and didn't use it. But it's still kind of looking like good ults on the side of Eclipse here. Both support ults, both DPS ults, so they kind of play aggressive. But this is when the comp for FIWB is the best, where you can just kind of hold this space, get these turrets, and just having a hard time pushing through.
Set up the microwave, don't let him walk through. You're right, Sign. As we're getting close to basically just an ult fight here with FIWB getting close to everything as Dinodan's all in this off angle trying to maybe find an early pick as Jess is going to beeline it with the charge. And that might just give Blackout Eclipse the space needed to walk in. That's going to be a rush. Orbit traded out. Manana pops the blade as well. Not only fight Scrambled Egg. It's a 44 on the point now for Blackout Eclipse. They plop the beat as well. Shoreline next. You have no more support for the side of FIWB. It's a wall maybe a little too late here as Shoreline just gets to punch through with Nemesis form. And now you're going to even out the point percentage here for Blackout Eclipse, but FIWB, that lead's gonna start dwindling out as Blackout Eclipse gonna keep capping 60% in 2 more fights, and you still saved your overclock with Dinodan.
Yeah, I definitely think Hydro's gonna kick themselves about using that Blizzard. Maybe they didn't see the kill feed, but when both supports are dead, I mean, I feel just kind of kite back, wait for your team to get back, and just keep this Blizzard next fight. But they command ultimate second is winnable without supports. But they do end up losing that fight. And like you said, Dinodan has this overclock here that they're gonna have to push through here. The points getting higher and higher, and just they're on this high ground. But it looks like look at the deep press trying to rush up this high ground here, but Ryan can't really just do anything up there. But they do get Dinodan. And
it's gonna be a shatter of history!
Shatter from Jazz getting 2 heroes in the there it is. Now you're getting these stalker kills. Jimmy gets out. And now they hold again. And dang, that was just a really good shot from Jess. I didn't think Jess would get that angle there.
Yeah, they just lined up, bowling pin formation, and a strike for the Reinhardt. As now last fight, and Theory's down!
Dies. Oh, and no.
Where is the Sojourn?
I think she's trying to get a flank or something, but they're running out of time. And it looks like this FIWB is going to push the front line like they should, just getting there knowing like there's no heroes. And this... then it's the front line just gets
I have
crumbled.
no words.
Dinodan's still up here. I think Dino can try to get OT. Dino isn't touched yet. The she's gonna have to touch soon.
Shoreline had Annihilation too, that's the worst thing. Scrambled Egg falling low, the Sojourn just gonna get walked on by 5, and you gotta be feeling rough if you're Blackout Eclipse. You just staggered into that one by one. But you still have a chance at stalling this. You have the Annihilation, punching through everything. Next pops the Rush so to shut down any hopes. Mignana getting close to the blade, gonna get bursted down. Goopy with a Sim Beam at full charge with a Rush. Too much damage to handle. And we're going to round 3 for Lijiang. And what an unfortunate last fight there for Blackout Eclipse. You just walk in one by one. You don't try to push any aggression, and it just, you crumple.
And I think that's the one thing that I do not think that Dan should have done. Like, with prompts like these, when the tank realizes, I'm assuming Jess or someone called out, where's Sojourn? Where's Sojourn? Sojourn's not here. When Sojourn's not here, it's go time, and then just push the front line. And Ryan versus Ram for a brawl matchup, Ryan wins every time. He has like 85 damage per swing, all that armor, the cleave through everybody. Like, you just don't win that brawl matchup, and you just kind of get rushed down. Their front line just dies. And what can you do? A flank's not useful if your front line's not there, and so they just took that space. But but do you want to keep this composition? And it might be a Sim TP. It's gonna be a Sim v Sim. This is the Sim point on Lijiang. Let's see they run here.
It's gonna be Blackout getting there first. They get the setup. As Jess is already falling low, getting bursted down. The turrets are gonna be good. As Shoreline's gonna be able to get all the free punches in the world, and is able to find Goopy, and everyone's already low for FIWB. And what a quick fight! Just getting the extra second to set up turrets what won you the first round before, and it worked again, Sign.
Yeah, and just, again, I think those are really good turrets on Mignana there. The turrets just really got the back line, slowed them all down for Ram just to kind of just calm down. And it was just, you know, again, coordinated about their attacking and stuff. Because FIWBs kind of give me the vibe of, like, we're just going to go in and see what happens type team, which can definitely work out once you get an early pick, but it seems like Eclipse are a lot more on point when getting these target calls, looking like the comps. And just,
yeah, now Shoreline!
Yes, too. And
what happened?
And...
He's just walking it down main!
And Joel gets a 4K here. Oh, never mind. He's okay.
Did they go for a TP play and they get booped out by Theory?
I'm thinking what happened was Race got a couple of dinks on Curie on headshots, and yeah, we're all low from those dinks, and that's why they're so low.
Gotta be, now. Manana already has a wall. beating out Goopy by around 30%, but you still have a free TP play here realistically if you can get through. You still have the angle, and you're gonna beat Blackout Eclipse the point. No setup, and now it's your time to just burn down anyone who tries to walk you down. But Shoreline pops the Annihilation, walking you down, gets frozen with the help of a new Mage change perk. As Manana's able to find Nax, it's still a 4v3 here for side Blackout Eclipse, evening out by Goopy. I almost said Goopy.
But Vignano's trying to clutch this fight out for them though, and it looks like it's not a free fight, but a nice symbol, but they just runs into turrets. Vignano gets low, and they have to use a symbol to win that fight, but Vignano almost turned that around. Maybe they kind of force a symbol off of them, but they're rolling heroes right now on the side of FIWB. They're rolling heroes, but they might try to regroup. They think, yeah, nope, it looks like Jess is gonna go in. Jess kind of freezing. Okay, Jess is alive. Jess is alive.
He's a lamb, and you have the shatter. Looking for it. The Ram's frozen, can't block it. And
wait, where's the king go?
Didn't get pinned?
wait, what was that? That's okay.
Rush comes in.
But okay, but they use ultimates here, and Nax is with a theory, and it looks like these fights are getting really scrappy. And I think right now Blackout should be like, let's just regroup, guys. We have ultimates, so let's chill a bit. And just re-engage, because I feel like during these 1v1 brawl matchups, when they're able to focus on one target down, they win these fights. So it looks like that's what they're doing right now. And I'm expecting a symbol in. Here it is, the symbol coming through.
You still have to worry about a very aggressive Blizzard and Satellite from the side of FIWB, and there it is. But you still have the overclock in the backline from Dinodan. You're able to force out the lamp, get away, but not from the freeze, though, as B comes up from Theory to try to save their Sojourn. They just barely do, as Mignana's gonna stay frozen. Jess finds 2. It's a 3v3 on the point once again. And Trollan's getting close to another Annihilation. And it's gonna be a 2v3 now, as Jess is gonna keep swinging. The Ramatra will finally get there. No! It's the charge off the map! Oh my god. Race is one, but it's gonna be FIWB
but they
coming
still
back.
clear an FIWB. Oh,
you get one more fight. You get one more fight, you have to walk into the shadow. You gotta get out of there now, though, because you only have one more fight here, Sign.
Yeah, and
the shatter!
Big from Jess, and getting the... Oh, Sim 1. Sim... Okay, lock in. There you go. He locks in, gets the Sim.
One gets Goopy, and now Jess is gonna be moving far up. Now you can burst down Jess. A bit of an overextension might give Blackout Eclipse a chance to touch point. Ramatra's walking in with the Annihilation. You have 5 more % to go. As you get frozen, Ray should be able to get the touch, though, at least. Jess just fighting for their life as their support's gonna carry them. Nax has a window to keep the healing output up to their maximum potential. Shoreline cannot pop a Nemesis form, gets frozen. As this Ramatra is gonna get walled off, everyone's falling low. I honestly don't know what's going on. Mignana's back on the Tracer. Mignana finds Nax. Scrambled egg, 1 HP. The Tracer's putting in work in the backline right now. Jess falls low as well. Goopy's able to burst down Theory. The Symmetra to turrets being able to put in a lot of damage. And bunker down this point. FIWB will get map number 1.
What a map that was. Wow. This is what Brawl V's like sometime, where it's just no one dies for such a long time, and the fights get super chaotic. Honestly, I think MVP there was Honeydew and the May. Like, that May perk is so dumb. Like, I don't know what Blizzard was thinking about adding that back on May again, but
you're just like, hey, you remember Overwatch 1? Let's do that again.
Exactly. Like, why is that perk? But great series though, but FIWB pulls it back and just, I think right now, honestly, on the side of Eclipse, you're gonna have to say, like, they're kind of playing into the rush of FIWB too much. Like, they seem like the type of team that thrives in the chaos of these fights, to where Jess can kind of go in and get these crazy pins, because Jess is a very aggressive Ryan, and he's not getting us punished as much as I would like to by the side of Eclipse, and they're kind of like not sure how to deal with said Reinhardt, and the Ryan's getting so much space for the rest of the team just to do whatever they want to do. So let kind of just have Eclipse be like, you know what, lost that map, but kind of recuperate and go back to what they were doing before, which was just really nice, calculated, very nice rotations to look at their back line, which is how Eclipse won that first point so heavily. They were just able to take advantage of that aggression, but they kind of played into it too much. But, you know, we got next map. Excited to see what happens next. When the next pick will be.
I mean, we got a map pool for a reason. I mean, most teams who love their brawl, it's basically been as much of a staple as Lijiang. Most people go to King's Row here, but we could see a switch up to try to shut down that Reinhardt from Jess.
And probably will be King's Row. It's like the most comfort map. Everyone plays King's Row. I would say, like, yeah, I think it's better than the map. Cariso's kind of, Probably was not bad, but yeah, we're about to see. That was just very entertaining. I could tell this series is gonna be really close. That was like, kind of like one or two bad fights on the side of Eclipse that lost that map, but
So
Oh wait,
just
I
to
just
kind
realized.
of jump in here, sorry to cut you off there, Dusty. I just want to, first off, I want to say, before we forget, happy birthday to Manana. I think that's how you pronounce it. I
Mignana,
probably butchered it.
Mignana,
Sorry
yes,
about
that's-
that.
yeah.
Just a little bit of information, I guess, that people didn't or not necessarily heard of right away. This is the first map loss that
Yeah, I was about to
Blackout
say.
Eclipse has had. Yeah.
Oh wow,
I
that's
checked
big.
stream
They
and
were
I'm just like,
3-0
wait a minute.
sweeping up until this, so yeah.
I-
And we do
And
also
I
have the
mean,
map.
you only realistically you will only lose one of those fights where you had a chance to win is just because Shoreline got sent off the map. He got
True.
pinned. Jess just sent it in. By the way, I'm not gonna lie, I do not know how Jess has survived. Nax might win MVP for carrying Jess in that first map alone.
Oh yeah, the heal and just keep them alive. Like
I don't know how Jess
yeah,
lived at all.
I think it's a bat pick as well because bat does a lot of healing and you get
Yeah,
a lot of direct light clicks. So
just
maybe that's why they chose the bat piece just for that extra sustain, just to
and
keep
lamp.
Jess alive and lamp too. Yes.
But nonetheless, Jess was able to build a lot of shatters, and it's been nice. So back to the map picks. I mean, if you go to Kings Row, you're feeling good if you're FIWB, and it's not.
True.
It's Paraíso. Okay, I think it's one of the first times we've seen it this season.
It is
Yeah,
actually the first time we've had it
yeah.
on
Oh
stream.
my god.
Really has
Yeah.
it been. Wow, wow.
So it's Dive Gaming then.
Yeah, I'm thinking it was Paris pick. We're trying to go for a little more of dive. This is definitely not a rush point. There's so much high ground to really need to take care of on attack that running rush is really, really hard. So we're probably gonna see a lot more dive from both of these teams. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, more they don't run into map, so not much Reinhardt. So maybe it'd be just kind of let's see if FIWB can really make a pivot here on
Hopefully.
on
I
this map.
mean, you must. I don't know if you're feeling boomed at all, but per se, but you lost your first map of the season after pretty dominant, you know, season so far. Nonetheless, it's Paraiso, so I know I said dive, but what do we expect? Like Echo maybe, Ash, some formats again, Widow.
We can play a lot of different heroes. I definitely do like Echo a lot. In this patch particularly, just for the fact of I guess God, you have a lot of good duplicate targets you can pick that you're going to see. Right, if you see an Ana, not be bad to pick. If they have some sort of tracer, it would be bad either. And Echo does a lot of burst damage on backline heroes, so
Yeah,
I would not mind the Echo pick. Um, Tracer as well would be good. I did see Eclipse did play a bit of Genji. I'm not sure who was playing Genji. I forgot who
Manana.
was playing. Oh yeah, Mignon's playing Genji, so we can like to see a bit of that too. And yeah,
Yeah.
I definitely think it'd be cool to see some of those different heroes. Maybe a ball, maybe ball pick, but ball is a very particular hero. Maybe no, maybe to take some play ball, but
I
maybe.
mean, Ball and Paraiso, it can work. It's definitely one of the more peculiar options, though. I mean, you know what's weird? Now that I think about it,
So,
this season in general, I have not seen like Hazard really at all.
oh, I think it might be due to the fact that maybe it's me. I kind of forgot about the hero. Like Hazard's not
I
bad.
like him.
Like Hazard's not a bad tank by any means. It's just
He's
I
like the
guess
Ramatra of
yeah,
dive. He does
just say
everything.
so. Yeah, he does. Like he could brawl a little bit if he wants. He has pretty decent ability with the slash. I think his wall is really, really, really nice ability. He gives so much utility options.
Yeah,
But yeah, Hazard wouldn't mind. Not really sure why. Like Hazard, I don't see Hazard as a bad hero. We
it's
just
just
haven't seen much of it.
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's just kind of weird. Hmm. And now, I mean, still talking about this map, I guess we're just gonna see as well. I mean, there's the favorite of picks, but the only characters I could really see working here for FIWB coming in would be like a pocketed Ash, Goopy on the Zambra, maybe.
So
I don't
just
know.
to give you info as to why we're showing this, Eggy's on the bench. Rye has came
Oh,
in
Oh
to replace
yeah, I was gonna
Eggy.
say.
oh wait.
I think I see a new person. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Wait. Wasn't no Weaver was there before? There was a
Yeah,
Mercy.
yeah.
No, the Weaver
Nax
was
was
there. It's the player
No,
that's
but
under Mercy.
there was a Mercy there before.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
same,
it's the same
same
icon, different name.
hero, different
They
name.
both
Yeah.
picked Mercy. No.
No, I just didn't have them. I don't think they filled out which they would prefer. Well, actually,
Oh.
no. Rive chose Mercy ahead of time, and then Eggy said, if I'm there, screw it. I'll have Mercy too.
Oh. My poor caster brain, I can't comprehend it. And now, this has been a bit of a long break, huh?
Yeah, maybe they're kind of discussing a bit like, oh,
Coach
how
is
I'm gonna go
DMing.
about, how I'm gonna go about really discussing this game, like how we're gonna go about playing it and things. And with that Mercy, maybe Farm Mercy perhaps. Not it's a lot. It's not the best Farm Mercy map. There's not much vertical cover.
Yeah.
Except for maybe that point B, you have that kind of little cluster of buildings you can play around. But most of the map on second point is pretty open, and third point is just enclosed.
It's enclosed. Then I would expect a ball at that point.
But all
That
right, we're
has
in the game, and let's see
finally.
what these teams let's see what these teams come up with playing.
Winton from Shoreline, I'm guessing. That's not a Winston. That's a mug. That's offense. I'm ignoring them.
Yeah, okay, we see
I
a
ignore
Diva
offense
pick
until
here.
proven otherwise.
Yeah, that makes sense. But we see they have a Diva comp here, and so just play this Diva. Love Diva as a hero. I think she's really, really flexible. She has such good mobility. Matrix has so much value. She's just kind of hard to kill on the armor, and she can just
Yeah.
boost away, and just also peels with DB for dives. So I really like this Diva pick with this double hit scan just hold on high ground. And we
Why?
see they're just choosing heroes here. We had a
Shoreline, I don't
Hog, we had a
trust them yet.
Maga, we had a Ball,
Yeah,
now we have a Winston. We have everybody.
what I want to look at here is FIWB has no follow-up if you want to go for a defensive dive. Unless you have like Goopy running into Narnia, but the Diva has no follow-up. So it's just gonna be poke battle, and if you lose one pick, it might fall over quick.
Okay, let's see this pick space.
I don't know,
And
guys.
the armor does Winston type dive here at this point.
I mean, you get first high ground pretty nicely if you're Blackout Eclipse. You're able to rotate through. Now you just gotta get to the second somehow, which you might just need to send someone to an off angle. As Mignana's falling low, 1 HP. As Shoreline just gonna send it. Bubbles a little whiffed as you gotta drop down so you don't get burned. Mignana finds Goopy, and Dino Dan
Huge pick.
clears the DPS lineup out for FIWB, and now Blackout Eclipse are gonna start moving as the supports are stuck by a Genji just getting close to DMEC as like I said, as soon as one member falls, I mean, they crumble.
That was a really nice dive setup on the side of Eclipse. I like the bubble was a bit short, but the Blitzen was able to take some of that attention away so that Dan and everyone else had angles to take the DPS, and after that, the rest of the team kind of just stalls apart. And let's kind of see how they pivot here inside FIWB. I think Dave needs to be a bit more attentive when it comes to this Winston, but let's see what they do.
I mean, first point Pata Iso is really hard to hold.
It is true. That is agreed.
It's either the easiest in the world or the worst. There is no. And now, we still have 5 minutes on the clock here for Blackout Eclipse as you're just trying to get another dive set up, push the card a little further before you probably go in, per se, as you have Theory just sitting there with a Race. As you're getting close to a rush, beating out Nax and Nano Charge. If you could get that rush early, it would be big, but realistically, Nax is going to be able to get the Nano and save someone. As you get a nice bubble into Goopy from Shoreline, splitting him off from the heels, and now you're down your Soldier. Behind you falls once again. And now you're down your DPS lineup, and FIWB is going to have to get back and just try and get a recontest for a second here, as Kart's already getting close to being under the bridge. As Mignana's still pushing the back line. As, oh no, your back line's going to get staggered here as the Genji falls low. And that might just be second with... Are we going to...
Just one fight.
Time bank?
Wow, almost 6 minutes on Paraiso. Wow. And Soldier dies here too, and it's just... Oh no, Ash can't die here. Ash cannot die here. Okay, she gets out.
Run, honey, to run.
Yeah, they cannot get staggered anymore. Oh, they cannot get staggered right now. And it just kind of looks like FIWB are kind of... Okay, never mind. Just Nebula's here. We'll try aggressive it. They're down to getting space on the side of the Eclipse here. Looking like they're trying to get a pick. Now doesn't give them space with that, but they didn't really engage. But Dan gets
the rush, I think, runs into a wall.
Oh, ooh, that's
Ooh,
not
boy, that's unfortunate. Mignana still tries to go in and clean up with the blade. That's going to be a bomb from Jess. Rally to counter the blade from Rai. Bomb does not find a pick. There's no mech stomps today, as Blackout Eclipse are still going to be moving through, but the backline for FIWB has still managed to stay alive. force back shoreline, so you should be able to get another recontest. You have Visor, you're getting close to Bob. You should be able to hold this a little bit longer as Jess goes over to the Rhine for the sustain. Probably just contest cart. Maybe pin shoreline. That would actually be really nice to see.
Yeah, but like, what does Ryan swing at here? Like, what does Ryan do?
Cart.
Like Ryan gets guided by most of these heroes.
You just
Like,
purple
maybe-
bunker cart so they can't touch. And
Yeah, it looks like it now, but look at the visor to the side, but it's getting peeled back and just
Oh,
great bubble from Winston just to deny that ult entirely. And it looks like they're just pushing this slowly here. This is overclocking. Support your guy split again. Only gets 1 HP and then just killing up.
Just Jess. Goopy's coming back on the sim to get a little bit faster with the TP. The Reinhardt to fall. 4 minutes, 18 seconds left on the clock still. And you're going to be left with 4:15. Your time bank went up for Blackout Eclipse. And that's a rough defense. I mean, it's still doable as long as you get a little bit of time to take this to a third
4
round.
minutes.
But, oh boy.
Well, honestly, I was gonna say Blackout's dive has been phenomenal. Honestly, like I feel
Yeah.
like Shoreline's dives have really good odds against Winston, really able to just cut people off their bubbles. Like for example, just denying that Soldier ult entirely with that bubble, so that Soldier get no value. Just him dying from that ult was great. And it looks like FIWB just aren't really doing a good job dealing with this dive. Like it looks like that they're kind of just letting themselves kind of get dived on, and you can't really look to get our heroes. Like I feel like if you're playing this diva composition, it just needs a bit more help to dive backlines. You either have to fully commit to the Winston and burn him if he jumps you guys, or just look for backline heroes. And it seemed like this didn't commit to either. And they're gonna try this Rhine again. And Dusty, I'm
London?
not sure about this Rhine pick.
London Spitfire?
Maybe London Spitfire. I don't know. Like just seeing that Rhine third point, I was just not impressed. Like this is really hard for Rhine to play. Like the TPs have to be really on point for Rhine to get value. Because again, like what does Rhine swing at in this composition? Like you don't swing at Genji.
Big
Supports
rectangle.
all the way in the
man.
back.
That's his goal.
Yeah, so
Big blue rectangle.
And Blackout seemed like they adapted to the Ryan pick massively here. I think this map pick might have
I mean,
been perfect for them to really say like, oh, you know, we're just denying this Reinhardt from you guys. It's not a Reinhardt map, and so it's like let's just play it.
most likely, yeah, but I could still see FIWB doing some creative things. Let's say you walk under bridge and then you're able to, oh, you're going to TP to first point. Well, not first point, but first height. But I was going to say you could bunker under first point, hide there a little bit, get Jess set up, and almost, Fury almost boops Jess into their own corner there. That's a pause.
Yeah,
I saw Jess sitting in a corner for a second.
Yeah,
but
and
that's
that's good.
Yep, sorry. Ooh.
I was gonna say that's kind of the stuff I'm looking for there. Just those TP plays, just to really catch them off guard, get a pick and stuff before I get a chance to rotate back. Because like I'm assuming what Eclipse is gonna do is just continually poke until they're able to get a hero low and then dive them, which is
Yeah.
how you kind of play against these rank compositions. But the rank composition, they really need to get in that close range and just really catch a hero off guard with their TPs and say, oh, we hit this hero, we killed them, and then we just play point. But
Yeah.
Eclipse have been doing a really good job though, like kind of just deconstructing this rush comp with this dive. Like, but we'll see. I'm assuming technical pause. It looks like the Ryan was like kind of AFK in the corner for a second. Maybe his keyboard died or something. I'm not sure.
But honestly, before going into the pause, it wasn't looking too bad if you're FIWB. Like, you're falling a little low, but you should be able to stabilize, and then I theoretically, like I was saying, you could TP like into one of the bottom rooms and then just send Jess out to point, make someone drop, burn them down, and if they jump out, that's just a free tick. Because like you just you have a giant Rhine there, you're not gonna kill him, and you can't kill the backlink because they're sitting in that room. But honestly, some of the members of Blackout Eclipse are falling pretty low, if I remember correctly. Before, if Theory got the boop kill there, that would have been hilarious on his own
Yeah.
team. Off topic. As now, FIWB is going to be trying to rotate through again, forcing out that back line. Just trying to let Honeydew get a few more icicles into the back line now.
There is that TP support. There it is.
Now it's going to be a big
A
nade!
beautiful nade on the side of Race. Just don't. Oh my.
Yep.
That fight's
That's what we
over.
call on a gaming.
Yeah,
Now you'll
and
split up
honestly,
and-
they're still, but these heroes, they need to get out. They need to get out. Or maybe get a pick here. This is really awkward on the side of FIWB right now. Like,
I need to count
yeah,
one.
that's just kind of what I was scared of. They're just wasting time. Like, they wasted a minute of their timing's already gone trying to do that, try to get a pick on it. And that was all from that nade from Race. That was a really good nade. Getting 5 heroes,
just give that one pick down, and
Honestly, if I was over.
The weird thing is, the Reinhardt went last in the TP play, so no shield to block the nade, and that just lets Shoreline get the setup of the century with a slam dunk, just jumping in, and is able to tase everyone down, but you're getting close to a nano now. So you gotta be wary of that if you're FIWB, but you should be able to play quickly here with the Juno speed ring. Looking for your target once again, you're gonna rotate out to first height.
And I like when they did that first one though. TP to the supports. That's what you need to do. TP to the supports.
Yeah.
Smash the supports down, which is what
And
you need to do.
go.
And they look like they're trying to do that.
How do you
Looks like a nice
fuck,
TP. Good pin of
Yes,
Jess.
getting their Ana, but just getting low, just got some more HP, but supports are dead.
It should be a fight win
Right.
here for not Blackout Eclipse, for FIWB. Shoreline, those getting close to the primal, the DPS for Blackout Eclipse are able to manage. When you're on 1 HP, if you hit a fire strike, it could be big. The shatter goes out, it does not hit its target. And now, you might not even get a tick.
Oh
No, that's just unfortunate.
Yeah, and that was perfect from Eclipse. Like Eclipse, okay, I'm not trying to glaze too much.
They just
but
sat
like,
on the high ground.
they just sat on the high ground and just kind of getting all those off angles, and Ryan couldn't block with the damage. Like supports were dead, but like they're like, okay, let's recuperate here. We have high ground, we have everything. Let's just chill. And they was able to get picks. And look at their ultimates.
They got 5 on the board, and with how long these fights have been taking for FIWB, I don't know if you get another one after this. So you're gonna need a big orbit or something to shut down the blade or nano blade from Minyana. And your team honestly doesn't have that lot of movement. You have survivability, but if the nano blade comes out, it might be a pain to deal with. As Shoreline finds Goopy, nano comes in, orbit to counter, and it's nano blade time. Slicing and dicing? Question mark? No.
They're all low. They're all low HP though.
They're all low, but it's gonna be the cleanup, and you force out the nano blade for nothing. Actually, just the orbit if you're FIWB.
Honestly, I would stagger Ryan here, honestly. Keep him alive. But I guess they kill him there. Honestly, if I was them, I'll just keep Ryan alive, like, as long as possible. Stagger. But, they use Nano Blade that fine Eclipse. They have everything else. And FIWB, they just use Orbit. But they are coming up with both DPS holds and consuming this fight. And it seems like it's like effective when they TP on supports, because supports can't really run away. But it's like that mid fight where just the dive just kind of just does its thing. But let's see. They would do it again.
You have 4 ults, 4 FIWB. You have a wall which should protect you from most things. As Theory's gonna walk
rushing down the
rally.
Sojourn.
Jess finds Dino Den, Minyana gets the trade out, Jess finds another, forces the Primal Rage, is gonna be a left Winston. The Reinhardt pin gonna burst Shoreline down even further, the Winston cannot survive. And FIWB should be able to win this one as Theory and Race are the last one standing, the Brig and the Ana. And Brig getting TP'd onto by a Reinhardt, not a good fate. You don't win that brawl duel. As FIWB are gonna get the first point. Still only have 2.5 minutes though to get to an even more high ground oriented point in second. And you only have a Blizzard, which could be zoned out pretty well via the mobility of Blackout Eclipse and the high grounds. So
yeah, and I would like to see now again. I really like to see kind of FIWB, like, we know how we play this comp. We play TP aggressively in these backlines, get them uncomfortable, and just kind of brawl, because their comp is very good. Like when they're playing their terms where they're just brawling and just are close range, the dive can't really play well. But they needed to kind of call that distance, which there's so much they're trying to do here. They're all TP on this high ground here. Ryan just chilling up here. So this is the backline trying to get picked, but gets walled away and
that's his own pin.
But it's trying to get picked.
Shoreline finds Rye. Oh, the Blackout Eclipse does not care. You can set up on high for as long as you like. We'll just drop in your backline. As now, Goopy A is able to find a pick though. It's still salvageable. Shoreline getting forced back, and FIWB is able to salvage. What a play from Goopy, and honestly, that's a nice turnaround to save your backline. Well, I mean, they might have fallen, but you're still able to get the trades. As you're still moving through second, you're not going to have to worry about much besides Dino Dan. Force him off the high ground, though, and you should be okay. And that forces the slide. The Sojourn is by themselves now, as the rest of Blackout Eclipse has to drop. And you still have a Blizzard here to force them all off a point.
Now look at this though. This is what the Ryan comp wants. All close range, but the overclock is pulled out though. You get the pick on Goopy, but the Blizzard looks like to try to isolate. The supports are split up in here. Ana gets slow. Ana's dead here.
Race
but
down.
There's no, they're not heroes.
Shatter. Could be big. Just gets another, but not enough. Oh boy. I mean, it was a nice attempt. The Reinhardt just cannot win a 1v5. Unfortunately, you can win a 1v. You can get a win a 1v2 apparently though. You get 2 there. As Minyana and Race getting close to another Nano Blade, and honestly, if you're FIWB, you might just want to send it to point and pray Jess hits a big slam so they can't touch. but the Nano Blade might be too much to handle. I don't know. If you're FIWB, you should be able to play this one pretty nicely, and you're gonna be TPing straight to point here. As Theory
Great
drop,
shatter.
not Theory, but a
Oh,
race drop.
oh my god, the peel on Anza died because of the med packs. And looked like you got a Nano Blade here,
The Nano.
but the Nano's kind of late. But Genji just does a lot of damage. Genji's gonna just dash through everybody and just kill that.
And now
And-
Timer's burning Rye with the orbit.
And just disaster in FIWB. Like, they get the shatter, but like, don't follow up. Not enough damage.
And that's
And the
gonna
map's
keep
over.
Paraiso.
Wow.
Two Blackout Eclipse. I mean, it's exactly what we were saying before the map started. If you want to shut down Rhine, don't take them to KR. And look at this. We go to Paraiso. And it's going to be a nice map by Blackout Eclipse, getting a quick step back into the series, tying it up 1-1. So
Yeah.
might be a good series.
FIWB definitely trying to make it as competitive as possible. This is just really a very unfriendly type of like Ryan TP map. Like it's like you go up, try TP, look for heroes, and the heroes just kind of scatter like rats. And like, what can you do at that point? And it seemed like they're trying to pivot to playing the objective instead of going for the high ground. But if you don't do that, then the rest of the team is going to do what the Brig did, just chill high ground. Winston's going to just drop when necessary. DPS goes off angles, and then just again, Brian can't block damage in 360 ways, and damage doesn't get through. And this kind of cleaned up the fight from there. And so. Definitely props to Blackout for his map choice and just honestly playing the dive very, very well. I really do like that pivot from them to say we cannot outrun this, we can't outrush this team. It's just not us. Let's just play around our it seemed like adaptability as a team. Because they played Rush pretty well to the point where they almost won Lijiang, and then just kind of switched to this dive out of nowhere and just played dive extremely well. And it seemed like FIWB couldn't really adjust that well on this map.
Yeah. And now, I mean, honestly, if you're FIWB, either map for Flashpoint here will be pretty good because it's Flashpoint. It's basically just Brawl City. But for maps, we're just gonna have to wait and see as we go to a short 5 to 10 minute break. So yeah.
No break for us, but it's okay. It's okay. It's for a
No,
reason. Okay.
trust. We get one.
Okay.
I think. Okay.
I think it's crazy. Okay.
And ladies and gentlemen, we are back going to NJC for map number 3 for this first game tonight with Blackout Eclipse hitting a pretty dominant Paraiso after losing Lijiang. And now it's back to Brawl for FIWB. Do you think they can take the third map in this series, Sign?
Yeah, I think so. Well, they won't be able to run Sim. You don't really play Sim in Flashpoint. Like, just generally don't playing the hero of
I
Flashpoint.
mean,
It's
on
like, I
first
mean,
you could get away with it.
maybe, yeah, but you play Sim more for those instant rotations like you want to do when you're like attacking and stuff. And on Flashpoint, it's so like it's so mobile that I really don't see the TP being really too useful. So I'm thinking probably going to just see more of like a kind of like a brawl comp with maybe like Cass May, Ryan. This year,
Yeah.
maybe those type of heroes. I definitely think so. I think FIWB really play the best with this kind of rush comp. And yep, here it is, Queen Mirror. Not surprise. No
Do I
surprise here.
expect a Moira? No. Am I gonna be ready for a Moira? Yes.
Honestly, I think Moira has her little niche. Moira has a lot of sustain. Not as much as some other heroes, but she has a lot of kind of quick burst healing. And she can also take off angles. She can flank. She's hard to kill. So I like the Moira pick. It just depends on how much she can really flank and just kind of annoy the backline, you know?
Yeah. And now it's also gonna be a like obviously besides the Moira and Kiri difference, there's a difference of DPS lineup as you have Manana on the Cassidy!
Jeez, Nax is just dead.
And his head taking clean off, no more speed for FIWB as Manana finds a make that 3 with the help of Dino Dan. Can we get a 4 for the Cassidy? Yes, we can. And now, I mean, as I was saying, the DPS lineup's just going to be different. You have more mobility on the side of FIWB with the Reaper and Tracer just trying to run around, do a lot of quick burst damage. And now, oh, that's an instant Ryan swap.
Yeah, just like nah, go back to Ryan.
Nonetheless, you're still walking into May Cass, which is a lot of poke and really good brawl too, with just spam the hammer existing, wall, you name it. As Manana might get the mark on the goop.
Oh, Manana just tapped the
hard to read. That was kind of disgusting. But FIWB still trying to fight this one here a little bit. Honeydew falling low. And now FIWB still down there. Tracer, you're trying to move up a little bit, take some space. But you're just worrying about all the spam damage as Goopy's gonna have to switch. And that's gonna burn a little bit of time here as you do go to the sim side as we were talking about before.
They are just trying to sim pick. I can see why they're comfortable with it. And
oh, Jess.
Yeah, just...
It's really rough to get through this choke. I will.
Manana used so much damage as Cassidy and just going annoying. Okay, Ryan's going in, but Ryan's wall, Ryan's half, Ryan's low, Ryan dies, and Manana's just taking heroes. Like, yeah, this boy's gone.
Left click, right click, the tail of a Cass.
I'm curious how much damage he's done this game. Like, it feels like he's landing so many headshots right now, this Cassidy.
Don't even forget about the right click damage. With the perk, it's just pain, suffering. Hey, you know what people probably do with that perk too? They probably just lock it on scroll wheel for right click and then you just let loose. And I could believe it too.
Oh, okay, Goopy's gonna kill the May. That's a good
off topic.
Yeah, let's get started here, but Jess is gonna try to brawl. Jess gets low, Jess on armor, but
it's a 4-man ramp!
Four heroes
the shatter!
And supports get really low. Juno dies from the
E. He's gonna walk it down.
From the carnage, and
it looks like the attempt of the shatter.
I guess maybe just like turn it around because it was like, oh, you know,
yeah,
like there's always shatter out, but your team is so low HP that they couldn't take advantage of it.
You also had to walk into a rush with McQueen and Cass. Nonetheless, though, you still have a good chance to win this fight. If you are FIWB, you have a TP with your Reaper. You can force out and you pop the window as well. It's a nice zoning, getting Jess in there for free. And it's gonna be a nice set of missiles from Ryan.
Just get all low.
TP window is kind of perfect as you were just able to force Jess in, and no one can really stop the Reinhardt. And you do pop Blizzard there for Dino Dan, and you get 46% on the point in Ducks. But nonetheless, FIWB is now able to hold, and we saw before on Lijiang, once you get that first fight window to sub-yellow hold, you start to like hold for a long time because it's just so hard to walk through your comp, and you have a Blossom online too from Honeydew. This might be a problem here.
Yeah, for sure, but Again, Blackout clubs, just know how they are, but now I might get that imaginary pick here. Now they're good at hits. But it looks like Jeff should play aggressively. Jeff is like, I want something to fight now, but just keeps really low. And it's forced to beat out. Beyond does die though, but they trade a DPS. And they pop the B here on the side, Eclipse and sustain, and it looks like they're trying to, 4v4 this, poke a little bit, look to try to get some damage in. And this is benefiting FIWB immensely. And there's Jessica playing really aggressively with the Reinhardt. Supports are really low, forces them back. The Queen by himself, and
Shoreline. Oh, the pin is canceled, and now that fight took so long. You might just get this point for free, Sign.
yeah, and I love the aggression of IFWB, knowing that like we have to play this comp aggressively. We can't just kind of sit back and then they fight us. We need to go in against them, and just. Really good aggression from Jess. Kind of cron team in there to say, oh, we can engage, definitely engage here, and get these picks, which they allow them to do. And that was 1-1, and ult economy is kind of even on both teams. All three teams have their ultimates. I would say, honestly,
Blackout Clips is probably doing. I feel like you're doing better there just because Rampage shuts down everything that FIWB has to offer besides, like, unless we see a Shatter cancel Rampage, but the odds of that are.
That's true. That is true. That both sports.
Oh, the voices.
The voices. And they try to get there, but here's a Queen over here. Gets 4 heroes again, and looks like you're trying to stabilize here. They're getting low, but there's heroes starting to die now.
I'm still in shock from that Shatter.
Oh, but
it's gonna be an orbit pop from Rye to try to help out the rest of FIWB, but it was too late and it couldn't reach the members in time. You do get 10% from the cap or so. But that's gonna be 3 ults for just the Rampage, and
you'll take that.
I'm sorry, I'm still just lost on that Shatter, man.
Yeah, I think maybe Jess was thinking he could catch someone with a rotating and kill them, but
you
just the team.
but it was too far back to really get any good poke in. And now Diamondland's gonna be looking for the wall, be ready to force everyone back. Goopy does probably have a nice CP though play, and there it is. Everyone's going straight to point. I does not realize.
He did that.
Just staring there, as you have the Blizzard now to be able to send everyone back. Just getting closer to the Shadow. Noon from Minyana, and you're able to find Honeydew. The Ryan's 1 HP. Get a right-click spam from the cast.
But they got flip though. That's the thing.
What? Oh my god.
They got the flip. That was not. That's fine for FIWB. That's okay. They get flip progress. Like. They should not let them cap there, but
I mean, you take it.
I mean, it just feels like it feels like just a fight, just an extra fight. Blackout they need to do, and they have to use the ultimate. I think as well as to use it, and so they cap here, and if you have the symbol coming in on the side of FIWB to engage this next fight here, and close to that shower from Jess, which Jess just not pulls these showers out, and look at him trying to play aggressively.
Minyana got too close.
Huge Shatter.
Solo Shatter. B from Fury comes out a little too late. You have no more DPS for the side of Blackout Eclipse. Now you just gotta send it back. You gotta run away. And now Shoreline is getting close to this Rampage, but I wouldn't say you should use it, as you're gonna force at least 99%. But now you just gotta leave because you just down every member. And Minyana, I think, was really just what kind of sold that one there for Blackout Eclipse. You're playing with so much aggression, like, oh yeah, this cast, I'm doing so much, I can get away with anything. But you just get pinned.
I don't think he was expecting just that pay from Jess. Just aggression of this Reinhardt has just been really, really great for the side FIWB, and just seems like Eclipses are not expecting these pins from this Ryan. Like, he might pin right now. Like, this guy just looks like when he sees it, he just takes type guy. But they do the Seawall here, but he was get the Blizzard.
Jess finds Race. That's a lot of the heals down for the side of Blackout Eclipse. You still have to touch here as Window comes out, and Nax gonna be pumping out damage. And you still have a Rampage from Shoreline to try to clutch us out, but I don't think you're going to be able to. As Series falls low, and FIWB gets another point, one more, and you're going to make the series a 2-1 to match point. As you're going to have Honeydew with the Blossom, Rye with the Orbit here for FIWB, and it's going to be double swaps coming out from the DPS lineup from Eclipse here.
Yeah, I guess they're kind of recognized, like, we should probably try to dive a bit more, get a bit more range with these DPS picks options here. But it looks like the kind of this card is struggling with his aggression. But Queen ults, but Wraith away, and Soldier's just out of position, so it's low. And they do get Goopy, they get Jess, and that was kind of what they needed. Just like Queen ult coming in, and just clear up to the side and right outside of Blackout Eclipse now. And that's the cop swaps are worth it. Like, instant fight move right there. Instant.
Yeah.
No ultimate's needed. Well, actually, never mind. These Queen ult. Jump trippers.
Shoreline just sent it with the Rampage, saving Dino Dan in the process, by the way. And now you get around, let's say, 3 more fights on this point. Honeydew, though, and the rest of FIWB, they have ult online, and if you cannot run away, it might be time to just die with the Blossom, and Honeydew's looking. Here's the TP. It's a 4-man shatter!
Shatter! Massive!
And make it the cleanup with the Blossom! No one falls to that, but the remaining damage definitely does. Dino Nang gonna get pinned, just gonna be walking down with the hammer. And now 50%, make it 51 is all you're gonna get from Blackout Eclipse there on that point. And now Shoreline's over to the Winston, as you have to jump into an orbit window. Oh,
And this is when the Winston pick, I am like not sure.
a
Like,
little bit confused.
I mean, yeah, like what is? There's not much to like kind of
Aggressive.
dress on Winston. It looks like they noticed that Winston pick. It looks like Justice is going in, playing aggressively, looking to swing around, looking at this, just taking so much space. But Winston's the back.
Aggressive Winston. Placed a little too far up.
And oh no! And Justice get pick on a Kiriko.
I legitimately think Nax tried to pop the window to keep the pressure coming, but I think you just accidentally like moved your mouse a little too far up, and it just got placed in front of Blackout Eclipse like they were trying to use it. And it's gonna probably send this one to the last fight territory, as you have 4 ults. If you're Blackout Eclipse, then honestly, I'd say you push tempo now, because you do not want Jess to get another shatter play or TP play. And there it is! It's gonna be a blade coming out from Minyana. Not playing too aggressive here, but you're gonna be looking for Nax force out the lamp. And Shoreline falls, and
Goopy gets 2.
the
And then
peel from Goopy.
Yeah, they try to look for that play, and the Shadow's like necessary. Just need to get his touch.
You're gonna be able to get a Dino Dam, though. Pops the clock, forces out a wall from Goopy, but I don't think you've used that there. And now, it's definitely last fight territory for this point. Might be the map if Jets hits big enough of a shatter. But you have double support ults coming in from Blackout Eclipse.
There it is.
It's a 3-man shatter! 3 pops the beat, though! But Minyana still falls, does not get in range, was not in LOS. Ray still has the rush, you need to pop this now. But you're just letting Jess and Goopy dominate your backline, and you're just gonna let them get away with it. Now, 5% more, FIWB trying to take this series to match point. It's just a lone Winston. And the Winston, not enough. And FIWB gonna be taking this one 2-1 so far into the series. And now, I mean, it's kind of going to be the same song and dance as last map, where Blackout Eclipse going to have to pick probably literally any escort map to shut down the Reinhardt brawl. But nonetheless, still a great performance from both teams right now.
Yeah, Jess is popping off with his Reinhardt right now. Just like, Jess getting these crazy fire strikes, these crazy pins, these shatters that just catching them off guard every time. Specifically, Eclipse are never expecting these shatters. It seems like every time, it's like, oh, we get shattered. Like, it is getting him so quickly. It's like, it feels like a pulse bomb. Like, Boogie has almost every fight. It feels like it.
Of Reinhardt.
And now, I guess Blackout Eclipse, I guess y'all kind of do the same thing, as in, like, we gotta look for dive. And I think Dorado's in the map pool. I don't think Dorado's a great round map. I think I'm trying to think of the map pool, remember. It is, Dorado, Shambali. Oh, no, map different. Okay. Rutica 6, Shambali, and Havana here. And what I'm thinking, honestly, on the side of Eclipse, it seems like they're a more flexible team. I'd go for the Havana pick. That's just gonna really, you can't really play too much. The sidelines are way too long to really run any sort of Ryan comp like that.
Yeah.
Or maybe some more on defense. I'm not sure. Well, I think honestly, like, the biggest thing is that FIWB, they play this Ryan comp very, very well. And I think it's just kind of just pick map choices such that I cannot play that.
Yeah, and now, I mean, I'm just, I lost my train of thought. Dang it.
You're all good.
Oh, no, I remember now. Hey, what is this? What's this game mode? I've never seen this before, Sign.
Huh? Game mode.
I don't know what this 4th map thing is. I've never heard of it.
Oh, payload?
Oh, really? I've never casted a 4th map.
Oh, wait, okay, I get it.
3-0 curse, 3-0 curse. Actually, I think I've casted like 2 before, but if this goes to a map 5, I'm gonna cry tears of joy, because I haven't seen a match like this in a minute.
But yeah, this is like a question for Dusty. Will week 6 be the week that breaks the curse that Dusty doesn't catch a 3-2
God,
match?
I hope so.
But
Winton.
yeah, honestly, this is a really close game. It seems like just FIWB just seems like just kind of showing this Reinhardt masterclass in this Div 4. Just like constant aggression, constantly just never giving them much space, and just it's just giving like baby Hottie a little bit. Maybe it's just like
No,
kind of just.
don't. That's a little too much grenades. Pull it back a little.
I mean, I'm just liking
LH
the
Cloud,
Ryan.
LH Cloudy for sure, not Hottie level. You know?
Okay. Baby Alex Hottie, I'll give him that. As in, like, just again, like these pins, his aggression, like just provides so much space. Like, you see how much space he creates, and he just like pins in like that, just forcing him to back up. It's just definitely gotta just pick comp choices and maps just to get him off his Reinhardt.
Yeah, and now I mean, going to, I just, what do you do for your DPS though? Because we've seen the only effective strategy, to be honest, from FIWB has been the Sim May. Otherwise, it's kind of been rough. Like we saw the Ash Soldier, it didn't really work out too well in Paraíso. But I mean, like, going to Escort, what do you do? Do you try the same thing, or do you just like try to move Jess around the map and just get your Reinhardt just in the back line?
I would say I think the TP strats they work on, I think have been pretty effective if they definitely all get in and be able to isolate that target fast enough. So I would say definitely keep with that. And I just honestly for them, I would just say just genuinely just keeping the copyright right now. Like it's
Yeah.
been working for you guys. It seemed like the die hasn't been working too well for them. I'm not sure how to do with pro compositions, but I think just kind of playing within their strengths and knowing what like even if we're really in a disadvantageous space or just advantageous map, how do we go about playing these fights? Who do we target? Where are
Yeah.
we TPing to? And all those type of things. Because there were times when they won fights on Paraiso in these TPs.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what they gotta go for.
And you just can't burn all the time like you did before on Paraíso if you're FIWB, because like if you want to get this series done over with and take down the throne of Blackout Eclipse and that undefeated streak, you gotta push the pressure because these long super rotations, like they do work, yes, but then you're basically going to overtime for every point, and it's a little difficult if you have the same kind of defense from map 2. Ooh, you know.
Yeah,
I don't know. I'm kind of just thinking. I'm just thinking right now. Brain
I'm
not
thinking.
working.
I'm thinking too, and we have not got a map choice yet, so I am
Manga
curious. Of what
back to map
I
2?
am. I'm. Now I know the maps are now. I memorized them
I mean,
now.
I know the map, but I just like looking at it. I just like looking at the map pool. It's purple. I like
uh,
purple.
I like purple. Your color.
Yeah.
Uh,
And I mean,
well,
like, we have Root, we have All I say is if we just cannot go to Shambali.
I hope not. Shamboli's
Even Havana.
there's
Oh
Havana.
no. Oh god. I was just gonna say you don't want to go Havana just because of the Sim TPs.
But I guess the thing kind of feel like here, like kind of the edge. Like, what map do we pick? I would say not pick Route 66 could have been a somewhat option, but Ryan's not bad, horrible on that map. Shamboli kind of isn't horrible for Ryan either. I think Havana is like the worst Ryan map out in this pool, so I think maybe they're just kind of looking to just shut down Jess as their game plan here.
Yeah, and I
Maybe it's
mean,
just Widowmaker. Maybe it's just a Widow. I don't
you
know.
know what would be funny?
What?
What if we just saw, theoretically, Blackout Eclipse just runs in for a spawn hold? Just like, they want to play the Rhine comp, so don't let them leave their spawn. What are you gonna brawl? The doors? I mean, theoretically it could work, but realistically, I'm not going to expect that. Maybe the Shoreline Sigma. I think I've heard tales of it once or twice before. But that's me vaguely watching Div 4 games on the games I don't cast, you know? So here's my question.
Now we're in
Oh,
game,
finally.
and
That was like the
now we see.
longest.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just gonna not question Blackout Eclipse right now. I don't trust them.
Actually, are FNWB going to try to spawn hold here?
That actually is a lot more realistic than what I was thinking. Yeah, probably the FIWB Sonhold. Let's go see where Jess is going. Where is the Reinhardt going? I mean, honestly, getting Jess set up wouldn't be surprising, but
Nah,
looks
it
like they're just gonna hold first corner. I think, or
oh,
something's going on here, and I don't know what.
I think. Wait. Oh, are they trying
Eh,
to hide for a pin?
yeah, realistically, yes. And Blackout Eclipse are not gonna play the brawl or
Mm-hmm.
the poke. They're going
Ooh,
dive, and
there
it is
it
a pin
is. There it goes.
to the spawn doors as I think it's an attempt at a spawn hold. Yes, it is. Jess is up top, almost gets Theory in their own spawn, getting 25% charge, and yep, Goopy, not Goopy, yeah, Sign, you are right. It is a spawn hold with Honeydew finding Dino Dan. This is, my question is how long are you gonna be able to hold it for? Because Jess has to really play around Honeydew's wall here and be able to rotate through height pretty nicely, as Goopy has to cover the entire rest of the spawn if Blackout Eclipse does not use the secret left door on the side of the spawn here as Shoreline figures
And
it
now
out.
it looks like oh, we got our side. Here's
The
the back
backline.
line here. The back line's getting cut off here, but great PP, great peel back, and they're getting forced to get a bit of space. But look, they're sustaining so well. Dappy's just healing everybody up here on this fight, and look, he has a shatter. He almost pops it,
And spawn hold's done.
Donzo's done. But not a bad hold. That's a bit off the clock there. Not bad.
Yeah, not bad. Dino Dan's gonna be able to get the cleanup though, and maybe a few staggers here as Goopy takes Race down with him. As Manana, almost gets hit with the Icicle of Doom. And Dino Dan tries to say Manana cannot do it, but those are going to be some nice daggers there for Blackout Eclipse. But FIWB getting close to all of these ults here. You have a window and shatter already. See directly, just send Jess into the back line, press Q with a TP. It could work. And then Blackout Eclipse, you just got to pop a rush and overwhelm that back line so they can't carry the Reinhardt. And then forward with no heals, everyone kind of just falls over, you know?
But Jess has a shatter though. We know what Jess does a shatter. We already know what he does. And look at that! Try to get that Sojourn! And but the team no, she was able to follow up with him, and Goopy and Dry already dead here.
The shatter just damage, not even a slam.
Oh, great
window
boop.
to Shoreline. And yeah, like a great boop gets Shoreline in there, and that should be your first point, right?
Yeah, I believe so. I'll let it touch.
Yeah, no, FIWB is gonna back up. You have almost all your ults online now from Blackout Eclipse, and a bit of a costly fight there from FIWB with the Shatter and Window. But honestly, it's like you said, you've been building those two ultimates like pulse bombs as Dino Dan a little too close here, I'd say. As the Sojourners fighting for their life in the backline here, Huntington does get traded out somehow. As you have 4 minutes to move through second, as you're gonna have a nice dive from the side of Blackout Eclipse here. You have them Blade coming up, you have the overclock, you're gonna keep putting the pressure on. Manana finds Goopy, and now Jess is just by themselves, and you're pinning on a point. The lone Reinhardt trying to just prevent a little extra cart progress, as your entire backline is getting decimated here. But Jess is still saving time, and will finally get collapsed onto the pin. Oh, the boom!
Oh my god!
Theory, I can hear, if I was Manana, I'd be on a Theory right now, so I'm gonna say, why you put the Reinhardt, man?
Yeah,
Oh.
but oh man, just some Reinhardt
That was
shenanigans. That was hilarious. Reinhardt shenanigans with a bully.
5 ults now, halfway through second. You just can't. I don't know how well you can play this room with Honeydew having that Blizzard, Rye having that Orbit, but I guess we're just gonna have to see how this one's gonna play out. And it's gonna be a rush coming in from Race trying to burst them all down. Jess runs in, pins Dino Dan, and now it's going to be a card still being forced. Everyone trying to just burn down. All the resources are falling for the side of FIWB. Race is able to TP away. Here's the beat. Nax goes down, Honeydew as well. And it's gonna be Jess.
Big shatter!
With the shatter, but the beat comes in at the last second, saving Race at
dude.
legitimately 1 HP.
But I think he's winning the
coming in
fight.
to save Jess though. Pin running it down main. And everyone's still falling low. It's a scrappy fight. You still have
This is what Jess wants though. Jess is just cleave through all these heroes. And
Dino Dan still in the high ground though. Can't contest the Soj. And will this fight finally end? No, it's a Blizzard. Dino Dan tries to slide away. It's a nice Suzu though to keep him up. And Shoreline should be able to clean this up with a Primal if you need to. Nax is going to find Dino Dan. This
but Hero's
fight
coming
has
back
been going
though
for like
inside
2 minutes.
FIWB. Hero's
And
coming
Fury
back.
finds Nax.
And
And
they're
it's
just
still going to be
so
more and
long.
more stall. It's going to be a wall from Goopy as well. Honeydew no ice block. Race finds Goopy. Now it's Rykart coming back from the side of FIWB. Nax coming back with a window as well. Shoreline falling low. Still has the Primal Rage. Honeydew will finally fall. Just comes back. Theory gets swung down by the Reinhardt. as this fight's still going to be going. Jess still just stalling for as long as they can. They get another pick. Shoreline falling low. The Primal Rage will never be used. Holding to Overwatch 3. And now, 2 minutes, finally, you get second. What a stall.
Wow, that was so close there. Like, that was so close. I honestly think if May was able to live a bit longer, I think they would have held that. But May died before she got a chance to use her abilities. And so now we kind of have to hold this. But honestly, definitely holdable. Like, Jess almost put that fight in the bag. Like, almost got both supports there. Look at trying to get that pin on the Winston. Wasn't gonna do it. There's Jess again.
What is this? Oh, that's a soul shatter if I've ever seen one. Mignano's now in the backline with the blade, looking for 2, finds Nax, looking for more, looking for Honeydew. The May falls low. Mignano's able to get away from another Jess pin. The fact that this Reinhardt is still alive is actually still kind of crazy. Off topic. Downton finds Rye, and now FIWB is a little too split, and it's gonna be the cleanup there. And I respect the shatter attempt, but it kind of just lets your backline get shredded by Mignana.
And now I
don't
think
know.
that's the game plan I think Eclipse are going to do. They're going to probably wait for Jess to engage, and Jess engages, and as soon as he engages, it's like, we dive. I
Yeah.
think that's what Blackout are trying to
Oh,
do.
what
Here.
is that?
Rush.
I'm losing it right now, Sign. I'm losing it. Jolene has to jump away. It's a nice window. Forces back all of Blackout Eclipse. You still have 4 ults online, though, and you're just waiting to use them as Honeydew pops the Blizzard. Still going to be able to disengage. Blackout Eclipse have been playing this patient game so well. Now Theor is finally going to be able to pop in with the aggressive beat. As the clock as well from Dinodan. Looking for your target, trying to just burst down the Reinhardt at this point. As everyone's falling low. And now Jess is booped off the height. Maybe looking for a pin from behind here. As Reinhardt's running around. Card still moving, pop a rush as well. Shoreline coming in, has the safety valve within the Primal Rage. Goopy keeps in the backline, not gonna be able to survive. Honeydew falling low. And now you have Dino Dan in the backline here looking for a target. Next, it's a nice boot from the Primal Rage. A nice setup there from the Winton and Sojourn from Blackout Eclipse. Still gonna be a 4v3 here. Dino Dan on this aggressive off angle. 6 HP. It's a big slam! Both members of the backline going down along with Shoreline for Blackout Eclipse. Just trying to find the target still. A minute left for the point. Going into third point now as Goopy only getting close to the wall. That's going to be the only line on this next point. And what? These fights are just so chaotic.
Yeah, they are, and just FIWB did that spawn, just kind of kept putting people on the point, and eventually Blackout ran out of gas and had to regroup here. And they are running old ultimates. They do have a symbol coming in this fight, and they can play around here, though. But this is kind of what they want here. Veronica just kind of chilled this payload here. They've had to look to dive the back, but Winston drops always down. And we do have someone coming through soon, and just kind of just make an anchor at this point. Just not being pretty hard to kill here. And
Yeah.
Like they're looking to poke.
And you do have the off angles from Blackout Eclipse. You just gotta push tempo now because you have
Oh
Jesse
my-
looking for Mignana, and you're just letting them get these angles on you, and you're just burning time. You're getting close to a blade, though. That's probably what your game plan was in the first place. Trolling in the backline. Dino Dan finds Rye, but Mignana gets bursted down by the turrets. Jessica gonna send into the backline. Dino Dan finds both members of the backline. Trolling falling low now. Blizzard on point as well to get rid of any contest, as you need to touch to at least get overtime. Just finds another. Make that a 4th with the help of Goopy. And that's going to be overtime burning. And you're going to be able to get through 3/4 of second for Blackout Eclipse. 79 meters, but I don't know how confident you're going to be playing into this next round with FIWB. Just walking it down main is the best terminology I can use here.
Yeah, and the big they didn't have to complete the map. That's the big thing. They didn't complete the map. So if FIWB can snowball this game into third point, just need to push it a bit there, they definitely can win this map on Blackout's map pick. Like, they chose this map pick thinking it'd be the best against this rank competition, which they were almost able to counter. In which was like, when Jess pins in, we look to that backline, but they just realizing learning that kind of just play a little back, play a little more patient, and it seemed like the dive couldn't really do much against one of those backline supports. But it does seem like they're running a dive kind of thing on defense, probably trying to do the same thing, knowing that it's attack. Jess has to go to just pin in, look for that space, and go to just look to dive backline instead. So
Yeah.
we do see that coming in.
I mean, realistically, you just gotta really play your angles here, not play too far close. Like, obviously, you send Shoreline to contest cart, you have Race just make sure he can be healed. Well, I don't think you really want to take the close quarters at this point. Just make sure FIWB can't get any aggressive angles here, as I don't believe this is the comp they're going to be running here.
Yeah, I don't think so either. What the hell type heroes?
Yep.
Okay, they're the cop swaps. I'm like,
There
it is.
How did you? Oh, I actually
kid-
thought it would be a Torb stay for a second. But yeah, no spawn hold from Blackout Eclipse. You're just gonna try to have to hold here. And honestly, what I say is at this point, you just have to nade the TP if you get it. Shoreline jumps in. If not, disengage. I just don't know how much pressure you realistically want to put on to FIWB here. Like, yes, you don't want them to be able to take all the space, but you don't want to walk into them either, because that just gives them more space. Kinda? It's weird.
Yeah, looks like they're trying to. Looks like they're gonna have to dive something soon. You can't just keep putting payload like this, and then Giannis dies.
And it's going to be the first pick now. You're already forced out. Just slept. Goopy falling low, but you find Dino Dan. And this fight's basically over as Cart's already at first. Sign, I think this might just be the free cap.
Blackout just waiting for. I think they're just waiting for that perfect dive, but a comp like this, that's not gonna happen. You gotta disengage. You kind of just give him too much space. Like you saw how Ryan was just able to walk forward easily and were forced to back up. You have to kind of look for his offense, look for these dives. Like you can't just play back like that. Off the top competition. And here's great pin.
Oh, the boop from Theory tried to save him too late though. Just does go a little too far though. Gets bursted down, and now I can't tell if this point's gonna be better for FIWB or Blackout Eclipse, because yeah, Brawl is better in close quarters, but this close quarters kind of favors dive a lot of the time. But now Honeydew falls low. The rest of FIWB are coming back with a quick tempo here as Jess gets close to another shatter. Gotta be wary about that if you are Blackout Eclipse, as Goopy looks for another TP. And there it is. You're ready for a bubble. And it's a nice boop! And it's gonna be Shoreline getting the nano to put the pressure on. And honestly, Theory kind of just saved that fight there with that boop. And it just kind of hit the wall that Honeydew placed as you're able to get the cleanup. And 4 minutes now, honestly, holdable. Holdable for Blackout Eclipse here.
Definitely is. It's kind of tough though. I mean, they have Blizzard coming out. They're gonna have Window coming up here. That's a Prime 1 rally. This rally has got some really good value here to defend against these ultimates here. But
they're gonna force right side.
They're gonna force right there. FIWB got the TP too. Like what's Jess gonna do? You don't know.
I mean, you still have the Blizzard online as well. You're not gonna force Cart. He's gonna be moving back a little bit throughout this fight. There's gonna be a window just trying to burst down anyone who dares walk past and try to punish Jess in that angle. But Shoreline does not care. They're just gonna walk around, juggle the backline with the Primal Rage, falls low. TP is missed by Goopy. It accidentally hit the side of the high ground, just right in front of him. As Shoreline's able to boop him back a little more, Shoreline gets pinned, and now the Reinhardt's on the backline by themselves. It's gonna be Theory dropping. Manana falls low. As the rally doesn't really find anything. Dino Dan's able to get the trade onto Honeydew though. Shoreline getting care. And it's still going to be a nice split angle from Blackout Eclipse, so one member can't fall. But Dino Dan just gets charged by Jess in by themselves in the backline. They have no supports to care them, but they're getting away with such aggressive plays just because of the care from their supports. Manana has a blade. You got to get ready for the recontest. You have 3 minutes now, but you have to walk into 4 ults, including a Blizzard in orbit.
Yeah, and there's the blade coming out.
Looking for anyone, but
just look at this. Like, Minions can't get any heroes. Back and slow. Good lane.
That's going to be the lamp forced out, but
don't value the blade.
You live though somehow. Yeah, you get the way down and find Goopy. This is just so scrappy. I don't know what to say. It's gonna be a Blizzard on the point. Make sure no one can contest. It's gonna have to be Shoreline, who Race has the nano for him. But Theory drops. But once it gets nano, it's gonna be an overclock from Dino Dan as well. Over comes out. Just pops the shatter. Heavy ult invest, and it's gonna be every ult from FIWB. Nax bombing and weaving, but Dino Dan able to get the pick in the end. But it's still not going to be enough as you get one last touch from Manana, but nothing to really stop this time because you have 4 minutes once again from FIWB, and you only have the window now, but Blackout Eclipse's ult economy isn't looking much better either.
Nah, and then this is a pretty rough, this super long space of high ground. That's a lot of space for Winston to jump and help to really deal with here. And so Winston probably will try to look for a dive or something here. But I did like that defense there. Well, that's a more defense-oriented point. But this third point here, there's not going to be as much, like, wrapped around high ground they could kind of hold the whole thing were before. And I'm
Yeah.
thinking they probably look the TP on top left. My guess is they might be looking for it. See like Sim poking slowly for it.
Yeah, they're looking at bunker cart right now. It seems Nax pops a window, does not let Shoreline get away. You have the power range to survive through all this damage. You're zoning out the window quite well. And now you have Honeydew forcing the ice block early there.
Like, he
As
just burned this
Shoreline,
Winston.
1300 HP is not real with that ultimate, I'm telling you. Manana falls next, gets 2, and that might just be your series here. As Cart's gonna keep moving, everyone's falling low. Race can't get the touch, he's just a 1-on-a. Dino Dan gets the pick, and not gonna be enough.
Ooh,
Shoreline comes
3.3.
back at the last second with Theory. You burst down the lamp, next falling low. The Baptiste will survive so far. Honeydew falling low as well. Ice Block comes out. Manana should be able to get to sustain. Theory has the rally as low just in case. 2.5 minutes now. FIWB going to disengage finally, but just coming back with a shatter ready, at least in 10%. And now you have ults. You need to play aggressive before FIWB can do anything. Shoreline falling low though, maybe jumping in a little bit too early. The shatter has hit Shoreline, but he drops off the high ground just enough to not get picked off. Dino Dan finds Honeydew. This fight's still going to be going as Jess falling low. You're getting close to another nano from Race. You have Dino Dan on this high ground being able to force back the members of the FIWB backline. And Cart will not be contested yet. Manana falls low though, Naxing a pick is going to be a 4v4.
Oh.
You still have ults here. Race gets the nano here any second. Now you have the overclock as well. Shoreline falling low, but you don't get it in time. Dino Dan has the overclock forcing back Jess. You have a nano theory as well. Just looking for a pin.
Oh,
the Dino Dan overclock's able to find something. It's going to be a 2v4 here as the over comes out. Manana has a blade to contest this for a little bit longer. But for how long? It's a blizzard on the point. You're getting frozen. And the Genji gets turned into an icicle. As the treat for FIWB looks like to be taking off the undefeated Blackout Eclipse, winning 3-1 on Havana, finishing it up with a dominant, aggressive performance there.
Dan was trying his hardest to win that fight for his team, but it was just way too many ultimates on the side of FIWB. Like, they just piled it on. They piled the Blizzard, piled the Juno ult, piled that Shatter too at that Winston. It is just the brawl's too much. You see this, right? Like, this is exactly what FIWB want. Like, they just want to, like, get close and brawl. And this Dive is not supposed to do that. Like, Dive does not want to go get close and brawl like that. And just masterclass from both teams. Honestly, I feel like both these teams play very, very well. I really like Blackout's dive there, but FIWB was able just to really pivot around and say, okay, this is how you play against this dive, and they played against it perfectly. And now they win the series.
Yeah. Undefeated no longer as Blackout Eclipse. So now who do we give the MVP to? Because like I said, I'm kind of debating about giving it to Nax at this point.
Yeah. The
Because
support.
the support care was just crazy, and I mean,
Yeah.
on Havana he got like 3Ks or something.
I'm thinking as well. I think the supports played really well. I'm thinking maybe as well, possibly.
Probably Jess, realistically though.
I mean, Jess too, but this is just the sim as well. I forgot the sim's name.
Yeah, it kind of. There's so many options here.
There's so many options here. Honestly, I feel like it definitely was a team effort because you can't play right now aggressively unless you have a team to back you up to give you some heals and things like that. But I would definitely probably say it would go to the Symmetra, in the sense
Goopy?
that
I don't hate that pick.
because Goopy had some really good clutch picks. Was really able just to kind of stand on point and just their TPs were on point. Seriously, that entire series, just being able just to TP, not even TP, just to put turrets down or just to get space or just put his whole team up there and everyone was on the same page regards to we all take some TP. This is what we do. Like
Yeah, I think. Yeah, Goopy gets it. I don't think I disagree with you at this point. So, like, Goopy gets MVP, and that's gonna be your first game of the night, and that's gonna be it from you, Sign. Is that correct? I don't think you're casting with me next game.
yeah, that's it for me. I won't
Ah,
cast
dang.
tomorrow. I don't believe.
Not a 3-0. I'll take it. Maybe Sign was the curse remover.
Yes, maybe it's me. I'm the curse remover.
I hope so. As next, we're going to go to Div 5 with Nova versus White Nova. I'm going to have a difficult time trying to figure out both of their names in between. But nonetheless, thank you, Sign, as Detcher will be coming in here eventually. But for now, we're going to go to a short break as we get the second match set up. So we will see you in a bit. Get snacks, get drinks, the usual.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Hopefully you had a chance to get some water and popcorn, because up next we have Nova facing off against White Nova. Without further ado, I'm glad to announce the casters for this matchup. Returning from the last match, we have our shoutcaster, the one, the only, Dusty.
I got water. You would talk about popcorn. Now I want some popcorn. You know, I'll get it after stream.
Yeah, after stream. And alongside Dusty, we have our analyst and Nebula Esports director, Detri.
Yeah, and I got water as well.
Let's go, Detri. All right, and now, Detri, we're casting Div 5, Nova versus White Nova. And this is going to be difficult for both of us to just
Yeah, I don't know
get
how
the
I'm gonna
right
remember.
team. I'm just going to go off of player names at this point. Team names are worthless to this match.
I'm
And
gonna go
my
off red and blue. Red and blue, you know? I feel
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that's
you're
that's
right.
good enough.
Maybe we could actually make White Nova white. That would be hilarious. But as our roster's coming in, as HR Tab is on tank, chicken, and rice. That's actually a crazy DPS dude. Now I want chicken rice. But they're on DPS, and they have Pandy and Simboy on support. But like, yeah, I was off track for a second there. And now going over to White Nova, we have Sam Game on tank, Charlie and Ninjax on DPS, and Tristo and GXT G300 on support. That's gonna be GXT.
It's
For
gonna
a
be
short.
GX for me.
You know what? I don't blame you. And honestly, Div 5, I'm expecting. Yep, Lijiang. It's Lijiang.
It's always Lijiang.
It's always
What
Lijiang.
Why are we second guessing? It's always Lijiang.
You know, maybe sometime this weekend we'll see a miraculous not Lijiang. I'm dreaming though. I'm probably dreaming on that one.
It might be.
Nonetheless, though,
we're never gonna see Samoa. I've just accepted it now.
I really like Samoa. I mean, if your team
it's
plays
one of
good
the
if your
choices,
team
but no one
if your team
does.
can play good brawl, Samoa
love
is really well, especially if you have a really valuable Sojourn on your team. I mean, Samoa can just you can hold the height, you have good cover, you constantly can get value because it's a lot of long angles, a lot of value. But anyways, we're on Lijiang, so that doesn't even matter.
Good to see you.
But
So,
we see
here we go.
White Nova and
Rhino?
Nova both running out on the Reinhardt.
What is this? Oh my.
One
didn't
does have the
expect-
BAP and one does have the Ana though.
Honestly, I think I might like the Ana a little bit
I
more
like the
just
Ana
for
a little bit more
nades.
just for nades and nano. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think window is great. Don't get me wrong, but I think it's
And then-
easily kiteable on this point. You know. But we do see a
and-
sim TP coming out from Rice, going straight to
Yeah.
point.
And that leads me to my question for you, Detri. The difference in DPS lineups, the Sim Soj versus the Mei Cast, they both kind of serve the same purpose besides the Sim having the TP, so what's going to really be the game changer here? The Sojourn getting picks or a Cast getting a nade?
Yeah, you know, you're 100% right. They both do serve the same purpose. However, Cast does burst Reinhardt shield a little bit easier. And Nade, you see coming out from GXT,
Sam!
just getting so much value on HR tab, and it seems like White Nova is able to cap first point here.
Yeah, with Sam already at 87% to shatter. After,
You know,
like, the,
one fire strike. One fire strike. That's all you need. When they were all lined up like that, when they were all lined up like that, you instantly go up.
And if you're Nova, I don't think you expect the Reinhardt to go in. So if you just sit, honestly, this would be one of the times where I wouldn't complain about going in with a shatter, but it's a 4-man nade, and it's a big slam on the back line. As HR Tab's gonna fall low, getting pinned. Everyone's still low for the side of Nova. They will get cleaned up. The Nano just in case as a safety measure from GX, they get 2 as well. And I know the Nano's not the best. It was just.
Right, but I also don't hate it because think about how fast they built those to begin with. They should have another one really quick, and they should be able to just, like, I mean, look, they're already 50% to shatter. Like, that's wild. You know, they just gotta keep building these ults and cycling through them as fast as they can before Nova can get any pressure on the point.
And now you have to be wary of another TP play, but you have the Noon to cover for most of it, and the Reinhardt not really able to do much against the High Noon, as it's going to be HR Tab walking in and slept. It's going to be both walls and a lamp. We're making a house today, Detri, as point might be flipped here just for a moment, as Rice is able to get the flip, but the rest of their team does fall on the further side of Nova. And honestly, being able to
Really
lay
good
that
flip.
UX percentage, not
Yeah.
bad.
It's a really good flip there. Yeah, the dying
even
there
it out.
definitely makes it difficult. But the
Last
flip
fight.
itself, really good play. However, a sim playing with the team is much better than a sim flipping point. Sim getting full charge and just melting everybody is very valuable.
Yeah, and now potential last fight territory here. GX building a lot of charge as almost a boot kill there from Pandy. As you have 10% now, you're just trying to walk in, get ready for another TP play. You both right have a shatter, and it's the wall! What? Oh, shattered! The wall is dropped! It accidentally blocks Sam's, but HR is not so much, but the Noon finds two! Blizz coming in from Ninja, gonna be able to freeze everyone down. And it was looking dangerous there for a second for White Nova, but they're able to clean it up, and that, what a, if that was Goro's wall, that would have been so much better timing, but luckily for Nova, like, you may have lost the fight, but you almost could have won that just because Ninja accidentally blocked Sam's, and then the second you drop it, you see HR Tab launch that Q, and wow,
Yeah,
I'm just lost on that.
the Noon was very,
Yeah, the Noon was
very
also
huge.
great.
Crazy because you have Reinhardt's shield up. However,
You walked
when
past
you
it.
walk past Reinhardt's shield, I mean, the Reinhardt can't really tell when, their body's blocking the sides. It's like you can't really tell when Cass is just barely across it. I mean, on their screen, it could have been just a millimeter. Still getting those picks. Really big.
It's a junk duel.
It is a junk duel. These teams know each other at this point. I mean, they have the
It's
same name. They
control
might as
center.
well. And
And
the Chunk gets the first pick on the Juno. Really big first pick, actually. Sam
wait,
game finding Gore.
I think I should say Goro for that one.
Goro, yeah.
Also,
good
I
idea,
realized
good
that's the Junkrat's actually just for White Nova is actually just called Charlotte. I think that's just Charlotte, just spelled a little funny. Well,
idea.
it looks like
Yeah.
it at least.
Charlotte too.
As point should be going to the side of White Nova here, as Nova themselves changed their backline to an on as well, but with the added bonus of a Juno for the missiles. And now HR Tab kind of just gets walled off and bursted down, and what a junk spam, gotta love it on Control Center, am I right?
Yeah, I mean, if you're Nova in this instance, you want to play for the fact that you have better brawl. You don't have any speed besides Juno Ring. You got to time it correctly. You want to play for brawl and just try to walk past the Reinhardt and find the squishies.
Yeah, and now you're walking into this highly contested room, trying to get into server room. Charlotte's getting closer and closer to this Riptire. Ninja will fall, tire to counter, and you're gonna be sent in. Everyone's needed in. Make that a 4K. As Tristo's gonna get the cleanup, and that's 40% already. And walking into that room, knowing that the Junkrat spam is there, honestly, kind of dangerous. Honestly, if I'm Nova there, I just go right side and TP and get as fast a point as I can, with the just HR Tab being able to walk it down with the Ramatra, but not to be, it seems.
Yeah, I would play main here and just try to figure out. Oh, huge
Wow.
Suzu! But really big slam from Sam. Still able to find the Ana. And Charlotte just cleaning up the mess afterwards. Really well done, really well executed. If they're able to go through their ults and cycle one by one at a time here, they're going to get so much value, and Nova just won't be able to make a clean, effective push.
Getting close to beat and Blizzard for those ult cyclings, as Goro does have a tire of their own though. Rice does find GXT. That's going to be a trade. Rice Butcher fighting another, the Sim. It's a 3v3 here, potential last fight for Li Zhang. Rice running away, the turret's doing a lot of work here for Nova, as the Sim's able to run away. Blizzard comes out, and Ninjas is 1 HP, but will survive. And it's going to be a quick contest from Pandai, but I don't think it's going to be enough, as it's just a lone junk to touch, and your tire does not count as a player. So with that, that's going to be a dominant Li Zhang. Yeah, nice sleep, dang.
Yeah, sleep, yeah.
Yeah, I saw that.
Really big sleep. But yeah, that's going to be first map of Li Zhang going to White Nova. Don't get mistaken for Nova.
Pretty dominant too, and I like the Junkrat pick for both teams, but Charlotte was able to just force the more tightly contested areas.
Exactly. The team that gets set up first, who wins first fight, is going to have the easiest time, right? Especially when you're both running junk. You just have more spam. You have better angles to hold as Junkrat. You just get a lot more value, especially since they're running junk in May. It's going to be hard to walk in there without getting walled off and absolutely blown up by the Reinhardt junk May. And then, of course, on a nade. That comes into thought.
Yeah. And I mean, it did a lot of work. Like, a lot of those on-nates hit like 3 or 4 targets consistently since in the Ryan brawls on like Lijiang, you're so grouped up that you really just, if you drop that shield for a second, Ana gets to the lineup. Oh, we're looking a little purple over here. And then everyone just gets walked down by a Reinhardt swinging at full power.
Yeah, it's too much pressure on the front line, and you might just think about wanting to burst this Reinhardt at this point. If you're not getting too much value in the Reinhardt duel, you might just want to play to blow up his shield and then walk after his shield is gone, such as either a Hanzo or a Bastion. I mean, it's crazy picks, but it could work.
Yeah. And now, speaking of things that you need to figure out that need to work. Let's talk about Nova's map pick here coming into hybrid because both teams we just saw played a lot of Ryan on Lijiang, but do you really think we're gonna see a KR?
I mean, considering I am a director at Nebula, I still don't really know the map pool, so I don't even know what the options are. I know Kings Row is a very
Like the only
popular
map.
pick. However, Hollywood and Pariso, if you're Nova, you kind of want to play for less sprawl or like less of a Reinhardt favored map. So you
I mean,
don't really want to go into Kings Row. You're thinking about maybe Hollywood, maybe Pariso, and just hopefully your Ram Brawl can do a little bit more, especially with speed. I mean, you're running a
yeah.
Lucio.
And I mean, if you want to go for the Ram Brawl, I'd say Hollywood. But if you want to go to a more of a die poke style, in our last match, we saw Blackout Eclipse go to Paraiso against FIWB Ball, the Rhine team of Div 4, and it worked pretty well. So why not say the same thing could happen for Div 5, you know?
Exactly.
And I mean, I just don't expect King's Row, and I hate everything. It's always King's Row.
It's Kings Row.
My camera's
Yeah,
fallen again.
yeah,
Oh
it's
no.
Kings Row. Well, stop punching things and maybe it
I'm
won't
not
fall.
punching things.
Well, going
I
into this
think.
map, what do you think we'll see from each team?
Rhine.
I mean, yeah, Ryan for sure, but you think both teams will pull out the Ryan? I feel like at least one. I mean, White Nova won that with the Reinhardt. They're going to feel confident on the Reinhardt. So I expect them to be running the Reinhardt. However,
Yeah, makes sense.
Nova, what do you think?
I mean,
I mean,
maybe
there
a
was
little
no
bit.
dive. There was no dive, right? Why not go Widow? Get those picks on the back line. Why not go Ash? Get that consistent poke damage so they can't get to you.
Got a weird
Forget shield.
idea for a tank idea.
Oh, are you
Hazard.
saying Hog? Oh, okay. Hazard. Okay.
They
Because,
both start with an H, close enough.
Hog is pretty good for a Reinhardt comp. I'm not going to lie.
Into the Reinhardt comp, sure.
Yeah. Hog is pretty good into a Reinhardt comp.
Wait, no,
I
the Rhine
mean,
comp is good into the Roadhog.
no, I disagree with that.
I don't know.
Because Reinhardt, I mean, Pin can get canceled from Hook. Hook can just grab somebody. Reinhardt can't bubble them. He's got to try to walk in front and shield them.
Yeah.
Like, he could pull somebody around their Reinhardt pretty easily. It just,
Folks.
Roadhoggle just kind of obliterates Reinhardt.
Sorry to interrupt, Detri, but do you see this backline for Nova?
Yeah. Yes, I do. A little bit of an Alari and a Lucio. That's Giga
So,
Poke. Giga Poke with
DPS?
speed. Giga Poke with speed. You see popping out with the heal immediately, trying to avoid the Reinhardt Fire Strikes.
And you're also
TP
walking into the get the nice wall. You're able to walk through, but it's just Simboy who gets caught out by Charlotte on the Bastion. And now Tristo and Ninjas are able to get the quick picks, and this, I'd say there are going to be a few swaps in order.
Yeah, you really need to just blow
character.
up this Reinhardt shield, and then you can walk after that. I mean, once you blow up that Reinhardt shield, you can pretty much do whatever you want.
Yeah, as you're just waiting for the wall still. As, I mean, it's going to be a quick TP up to height. You're going to be able to get the rotation through, realistically. But it's a 3-man nade. Now you have to play safe. You're getting bursted down by a Bastion. And the May. An Icicle to the dome for Simboy. That's their present for May. I mean, we had like May Day yesterday. I don't know if there's actually really an actual holiday, but nonetheless, it's a pin! Oh my goodness.
Pin ran out before he could get the pin.
GXT and Ninjas should be able to get the cleanup, and all members of Nova kind of just got split. And I think this could be another fight lost as Ninjas. Ninjas? I don't know if it's like Pokemon or not.
Ninjas.
Close enough. As Bandai? Is Lucio gonna get staggered? Ooh, no, you get away. But this is already a minute and a half burned off the clock, Detri, and you're walking into a Shatter Nano now with nothing to really fight back. So what do you do if you're Nova here? Oh.
I mean, if you're Nova, you definitely want to take this height, but you want to try to just keep walking. You want to try to poke them out from their opposing height, force White Nova to have to flip the map if they even think about it, and, you know, just have somebody drop point. The second they make a move on point, you brawl it out with a better brawl. Try to force Bastion for him, brawl.
There's the pin. HR tab, Nemesis form forced out. You have to survive a Bastion turret, but you didn't realize it's there. You can't get the block in time. It's a Boostio! As Tristo's trying to find a target, but everyone's on the high ground. Can't wall right up there yet. As you're trying to find Simboy. And well, I know Nyx is happy watching stream, seeing a Boostio. That's all I know. Ooh, that's gonna be a rough stagger too.
I definitely favor a nano boosted Mercy though.
A nano boosted Weaver is honestly the way to go, personally.
With the perk, the explosive bullet perk.
With the perk, yeah. And now, I mean, it's still gonna be Nova just having a rough time trying to get these engages as Ninja's just waiting there, menacingly. The wall.
Still just waiting there.
I mean, it's not like
Ready
Nova's
to time
walking
it
in. There
and
it
gets
is! Nemesis point forced out
Maybe a
early. You still have
freeze?
every
Maybe a
ult.
freeze?
Handeye pops the beat. It's gonna be a
Big
four-man
shatter.
slam! And
Really,
it's gonna be
really
Annihilation counter wall as well. Tristo pops a beat of his own. Charlotte with the artillery strike. Sam finds two in the backline. The Sun from Simboy is able to help find Sam, but not anymore as everyone else is falling low. And now 45 seconds. Detra, you just pop 5 ults if you're Nova. You have nothing else to go in with.
Yeah, you had nothing, but at this point, you've held them for so long. You want to keep holding them as long as you can. You're going to do whatever you can, right?
I mean,
so
you
you're
saw
going
the
to pop
Blizzard
one
Nano.
after another.
Yeah. And TP directly on the point. Bit early there from Rice, as you have a Nano Bastion just putting in as much damage as possible. As the DPS duo from White Nova have just been able to do so much on this Kings Row defense. Just one angle, there's a mate throwing icicles into your DPS, and then on the other, there's a Bastion with a grenade and turret just decimating your backline. And now, 6 seconds, I don't think you get the touch here, as a Blizzard's in the spawn doors. Pandai runs in at 1 second to activate the overtime, but for how long, as a Bastion's going to be raining bullets, turning all of Nova into Swiss cheese. As Detri, that's a complete full hold.
Yes, it is. And, you know, before, when you said 5 ults, I got a little confused. You know, I didn't know it was from Nova. I thought it was from White Nova. So, well, mix up there. This is the struggles of similar names. But really, really good defense from White Nova. Not using too many in response to Nova's 5 ultimates. Still getting the value and still winning the fight. Only losing their tank, who was able to get back in time for a good defense with a Nano on the Bastion, who can just get infinite value.
Yeah. And I mean, I don't think you honestly need to change up your strategy too much here if you're White Nova. Honestly, I would like the Widow for one shot. But, Weaver.
Well, at this point, if you're Nova, you gotta just bunker on point, and you gotta just try to outbrawl them. Because one tick and it's over. So you gotta blow up that Reinhardt shield, and you gotta try to find the squishies in the middle of all of that. So I don't know if Widow would have been too much value, besides their backline, if your front line can hold enough pressure.
I mean, I meant, wait, Nova, White Nova, which one's, the offense team Widow. There we go.
Oh, yes, of course,
Yeah.
of course. But if you're them as well, I would just play for the best ults in the game. And then stack them all.
Also, opinions on the Weaver pick, because if you want to go for the full bunker, I mean, at least you get that
Reinhardt
one get out of jail
Savior.
free card.
Reinhardt pin savior, as well as Petal.
The main issue is you're giving first choke easily over to White Nova. You're playing for the point, which I don't hate necessarily, but giving the way that first choke gives a lot of time for like people like Charlotte to get on these off angles and really put a detriment into the side of Nova here.
Detriment. Yeah, sorry.
Yep.
Continue.
Oh, I knew the pun. I was too easy. As Sam falls low, goes for a bit of an aggressive charge. You're still able to survive though. Reaper and Ram have a great survivability along with the Mei. And everyone's going to be falling low. Oh, that's going to be the first pick. This hold might be a little rough now as you still only need one take from the side of White Nova. Petal trying to keep everyone alive, but Charlotte and Tristo are in the backline as a duo, bursting everyone down. HR Tag being close to an annihilation, trying to survive, only 3% away, and you're getting so close to this Ramble. But can you get it in time? No, you get shut down right as you get it. Charlotte gets a cleanup. Sam Game comes back, and this is going to match point Detry 2-0 already.
You know, that's really tough. If you're Nova, you really want to just, after that Reinhardt kill, kite out a little bit, stabilize. You're all 1 HP. Go back in. They have no tank. They're not going to hold point. You don't want to stay in there when you're all 1 and just trade the pick. But really tough matchup there with the Bastion. I mean, Bastion's just going to constantly burst whatever tank you have, as well as any squishies who are out in the open or get isolated trying to take an off angle.
Yeah, and now it's going to be a quick break as Nova has to decide which flash
Pull it up.
they want to. Oh no.
Pull
I
it up.
forgot we're doing this. No break. I lied. Please.
What do you mean you can't?
The
You got to do it.
The producer's tired.
I'm cutting you off.
Producers got to
Your
do
bit
what,
has been
what
shut
Caster
down.
asked for, you know? I'm
Your
the
bit's
one
been
here.
shut down, Detry.
Dusty's the one going on a break. I got to entertain. How else am I going to entertain without Chicken Jockey?
Oh god.
No, Detry, I can't.
Caustic, you have it set up.
I'm
If you
waiting.
have it set up, it's too late. Otherwise, we go to break.
Exactly.
We got it. We gotta go to break, man. We got to.
All right, that's gonna be
Wild.
That's gonna be it
I
for
know.
now, ladies and gentlemen.
Silencing me
As
is crazy.
we're going to map 3 here momentarily. White Nova leads 2-0. Most likely might be able to just get the 3-0 onto Nova and continue their run through Div 5 as I go check the standings right now to make a really cool talking point as they're trying to catch up to drop the guns. As they're in second place right now for White Nova is. So if they win this game, they'll be tied up until Drop the Guns plays their game. So that's fun as, yeah, we're finally going to go to break. And welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We got our third map of the night, potentially final, as White Nova is leading a dominant 2-0 to match point right now in our final game of Friday night, and we're going to NJC, Detry.
Yes, we are. And, as they say, bienvenido de nuevo. That is how you say welcome back in Spanish. Yeah, as you guys were on your bathroom break, we learned a little bit of Spanish. So, going into the comps we have, or the lineup,
There's a switch.
go ahead, Dusty. You could take
It's
it away. We got a little bit of a switch.
Turco's in on DPS.
You've lost the rice, but now you've got Turco.
That's like I can't
You
think.
lost
of, like,
the rice, but you got taco.
It's like turkey.
So.
Well,
But not.
Yeah, or that.
Close enough. Yeah. Is there any other swaps, or is that gonna be? Yeah, that's gonna be all. As Venture.
A Reinhardt duel again.
I honestly, this has probably been my favorite game of the season.
But
I like Reinhardt.
we do see Nova out on the Bastion this time, hoping to blow up the Reinhardt shield a little bit more, and Venture to try to get to the back line a little bit easier.
My question is, why is White Nova is taking a page out of Nova's book and running the Lucio? Oh, that's an Ana. I got baited. No. With that out of the way, White Nova's gonna be running it down what they've been running all series. As Nova's switch up here, I think I like it. Honestly, the Venture Bastion, not bad.
Oh, that health just completely vanished.
HR is going to get bursted down, but he is able to survive with the Bastion Terraform being able to burst down any wall in their path. HR is able to find Sam, so even if you do fall, you get that Reinhardt trade. As Charlotte's just walking in to the core of Nova, and it's going to be a 3v2 now, as Charlotte has no more role, and Goro and Turco are going to be able to get the burn down there. Venture Bastion, a lot of burst damage, especially if you hit like a Venture Direct and a grenade. It's just, HP goes down like that.
Yeah, Venture's going to be really great here to try to dig into their backline, try to get a good engage with the Reinhardt pin, try to burst whoever you can find.
Yeah.
And Bastion, of course, turret form, you just got to time it a little bit, get some crazy value.
Yeah, and now, I mean, you're still getting decent percentage now as White Nova's going to take a second to get this engage, as almost you time the pin to get rid of the Venture. As Turco's getting closer and closer to this artillery strike, might just be able to stuff White Nova in this room and let HR Tab walk in. As his shield's falling low, Turco's just going to get pinned! A full range charge from Sam, being able to now pincer the entirety of Nova. As everyone's falling low, Sam's going to get the cleanup with the help of Ninjas. As you still don't get point yet, as Panda is going to stall for a little bit longer. And honestly, 80% for the first, make that around 87. Not a bad first attempt.
Really not a bad first attempt. However, now that White Nova has control of the point, they have the ults to cycle.
And yeah, you should. Honestly, you have every ult on the board now, and Turco's going to pop the early artillery strike. HR Tab gets bursted down, so unless this is like a 3-man missile, I mean, you find GXT, so that's an Ana down, but you still don't really have much to walk in with no tank, as point percentage is going to be going up and up as you wait for HR Tab. I think that's the correct decision here, as Tristo's going to have to go not pick up their Ana. So GXT is going to get back second, so you should be able to take this fight with not having to worry about a nano.
Yeah, not worrying about a nano, great, but the beat can last
this
long enough to get Ana back to get the nano, and Ana's already back at this point. Now you got it. If you're Nova, you got to go with something first. Really good block. However, it was still able to find one. Counter slam finding one. Trade for trade going on here. Nano on the cast.
And Turco might be able to salvage this one on the Bastion. The care from Simboy is good. And you're going to force out the ice block. And the Bastion form will not go down yet. It's a nice sleep, though.
95%.
And you can't get a touch!
Point.
Oh, wait, no.
Somebody gets a touch.
As Pandai. Wait, no, that's Simboy. Pandai comes back in with the beat. HR Tab's coming back as well. Blizzard on point to zone everyone out, but you can play LOS from Snowball. Goro finds Tristo, but it's not going to be enough, as it was still a pretty close fight all in all. But you're just not able to get the cleanup as Goro finds another pick, but then Sam gets the cleanup, as that is going to be first point and no ults on the board anymore.
Yeah, both teams coming out with all their ults. Still no luck from Nova. White Nova getting the first point. Going into the second one with point control. Gonna have to hold it down. Try to build Shatter, maybe even Nano. and just engage with it. Especially with the Bastion, you got to time the Bastion form correctly. Try to just kite that. And there it is, Bastion form coming out a little bit early. Not going to get too much value.
Oh, using the Ice Block as a shield, that's really smart! And that's a nice shatter! As Sam's gonna be able to get 3, looking for more, trying to find this Venture. Has the pin ready. Not gonna use it. I just...
Exactly.
Like, it was a very nice fight. Good
You
close
build that
order.
shatter so quick, especially into what they're running. They have to play stacked, and they were able to find what they needed to, get the value they needed to. Bastion form, who cares? Just shatter it, right?
Yeah. I'm honestly, like, off top, I'm still kind of surprised that Charlotte used Ninjask as a shield. That was actually really great. I don't know, just really... That play makes me happy for some reason. And now it's gonna be an artillery strike coming in. Oh, one of those when he goes down onto the point. As everyone's falling low for the side of Nova, you're just getting bursted down. It's a nice wall from Ninjas, who's been kind of getting good walls all night. As Tristo is gonna get to clean up around 50%, and with that's gonna be leading to a pause. Nonetheless, though, if you are Nova, you have ults to recontest this. But currently for NJC, I don't think you have many complaints from White Nova, as you already have 50% for the second point, and you're kind of just rolling with your tempo at this point.
Yeah, you know, I'm noticing Nova is using a lot of their cooldowns a little too early. Bastion form's coming out too soon. You want to try to get as much value as you can without turret form, and then once you see the Reinhardt in your face with shield, burst that shield with Bastion form, then your team can engage and find squishy.
Yeah.
If they just do that a little bit more smooth, fluid, they'll get some more value that they're expecting to see while running this Bastion.
Yeah, and now, I mean, as we go into this pause, let's just, like, I know we can't exactly look at the ult economy here, but Nova still has a chance at this point. Like, I think you had around 3 ults on board. Oh, we can't go to pause screen for a minute. So yeah, let's just break this. I wish we had, like, the marker tool, but we don't. So it's going to be around almost 5 ults for White Nova here, but Noon's gonna be good, right? But
Noon
if you
will
can,
be good.
you just, I think the main ult that'll be a fight changer here is probably gonna be the Tristo Beat or the Ninja's Blizzard. Like, I'm gonna say the Beat more though, just because it's
Right.
closer.
Right. I
So
mean, if I was White Nova though, I'd want to just hold close. I mean, they already won this fight, right?
yeah,
Hold close, force as many ults as they can out of Nova, and then give them the point they need to. Don't drop anything, and then come back to point with 5 ults.
yeah. All right,
Oh,
we're going
going back
pause.
into the
All right,
game.
perfect timing. So I guess we're gonna see if they do play with that aggression, as Simboy's gonna give them a slight stagger there. As I mean, you're walking.
They
the
are on the
field.
Reinhardt. They are just gonna sit point. They're not gonna play close. No need. Let them come to them. You know, Ryan v Ryan. Might as well get as much value as you can with the cast and the May. Let them walk. Wall them off. Cast gets the value with the Noon. I understand the play.
Yeah.
However, you see Goro coming in for the flank, taking an angle. Does get bursted down.
It's gonna be a Noon to contest everybody off the point. It's gonna be walking past it, and the boop!
The boop saved him.
Charlotte, you got so lucky. Oh my god. Pandai booped him past the shield as
Was it
HR was
Pandai?
trying to
I
burst
thought
him.
it was Bastion Bomb.
He looked like a
Because
with
Pandai
how
was
far
not
back,
really near the team, I thought.
with how far back he moved. I thought it would be a boop with the.
I mean, you're right, 100%. It sounded like a boop, but it just I didn't even see Pandai near
Either
that
way, you get
near the
knocked
cast.
into the sky, and it's just unfortunate now as they have to try to walk through. Pandai does find Ninja. HR tab falling low as the Bastion turret form going to be enough to force Sam back for a little bit. You do have a shatter though to shut down this coalescence, and it hits 3. No more coalescence for you.
But Sam does get picked, and
Goro
Nova's still coming out on top with only Ninja left.
And honestly, force Blizz, force Shatter. Yeah, I ain't complaining if I'm Nova here, and you still have artillery and a beat coming up for a potential nano, and if they walk into this top high ground again, Turco can just rain missiles in there and honestly probably find GXT. And they are going in. And there's your artillery. But it's going to be Sam walking in and finding Pandai. No beat for this fight. No safety valve to stop this Reinhardt. As you're going to get around, let's say 50% on this point, as Nova's going to have to disengage. As actually you get a little extra. I mean, you don't complain if you win this next fight. Shut down Sham before he can shatter. you might be able to get this point and stop a potential sweep. With that, though, you still have your 2 ults from the previous fight. But Sam's getting closer and closer to the Shatter, as it's going to be kind of an early artillery strike, honestly.
Yeah, a little early, but you're kind of looking for an early pick so you can get a better engage. I understand it, but Sam does find HR, like you just said. Bastion form no longer intact. You do see the Bastion chose the heal.
So prepared. I don't hate it. I mean, the tank turret is good.
You don't hate it, but like, how often do you really remember to use it? I mean, it changes
Honestly,
the whole playstyle. I feel like Bomb, yeah, it might not be able to burst the Reinhardt shield as much as you'd want, but it can find the squishies a lot easier. Especially with Reinhardt shield, you could 2-shot it. Reinhardt can just shield his team if you're in, regular form.
But now you need to play quick because you still have to worry about the Shatter. You don't have a beat to stop it. HR Tab gets walled off. 10% to go, and everyone's falling in one by one. The Shatter is going to hit Turco. Pandy's beat will not reach him. It's going to be a noon to clear him off point. Bow support stuck on the right side. It's going to be a nice charge. It gets Charlotte the noon cleanup, and that's going to be a 3-0 for your second match of the night. Div 5, White Nova. 3-0 beating Nova with a pretty dominant performance, not even giving a point to Nova at any of the maps.
Yeah, really well done by White Nova. Tough loss for Nova. Just...
Yeah, that's a Lucio
it
boop.
was a boop. Yep, I didn't even notice. The Lucio was behind him at that point. Really well done by White Nova, like I said. Unfortunate loss for Nova. You just got to come back in the next one, trying to play a little bit more fluid, a little bit better with the engages. Find a target, maybe burst the Reinhardt shield, force him out a little bit early. Then you get guys can engage with your Reinhardt. But in the end, I mean, MVP. Who are we looking at from White Nova here, Dusty?
Honest? That's
I have something in mind.
I'm gonna let you talk first while I ponder.
All right. Well, based on how we did see the Ryan v Ryan 2 times, and even with a Ramatra counter, I'm gonna have to give it to Sam. Still finding the value even into the Ramatra, still getting the value in Ryan v Ryan. Coming out on top majority of the time. I'm gonna give it to Sam. How about you?
Honestly, yeah, I agree. I like Reinhardt.
Yeah, Ryan, funny character.
Me like big hammer, me like big tank with shield. But no, I honestly, Sam was able to put a lot of pressure on. I'd also give a honorable mention to Ninjas on the May. Those walls were just perfect every fight. You're able to just shut down HR Tab. That's what mainly did a lot of the work too.
Agreed.
So yeah, I'm going to give it to HR Tab, but Ninjas, if you watch stream, you definitely get an honorable mention for that one. So with that out of the way, Detry, that's going to be our matches for Friday night. A 3-1 from FIWB, knocking down Blackout Eclipse, the undefeated team in Din 4, 3-1. And then White Nova 3-0s Nova to continue the streak in second place in Div 5. So for tomorrow night, we have Boostios coming in against Tequila Mockingbird, fighting for third place in Div 3. I actually get to cast a Div 3 game for once, Detry. I'm not playing tomorrow.
Oh, really? Yeah, you guys are
Yeah.
Sunday.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
speaking of, I know it's not on the board here.
No, we just nope.
It's okay. It's okay.
No.
Why?
Nope. We're
Ah,
talking.
fine.
That's a Div
Fine.
2 game.
Fine.
And then speaking of Div 2, we have one tonight. Not tonight. Tomorrow night after the Boostios game with Comeback Kids, trying to take down the undefeated Div 2 team in normal, who has a Snorlax as their logo. That's actually kind of great. But yeah, so that's going to be your matches for tomorrow. I think I'm casting one of them at least. So with that, I am Dusty. That is Detry. Our producer is Caustic in the shadows wherever she is. And with that, this is Nebula Week 6, Day 1. And I will bid you all adieu.